Let's go. Day gang, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Blessings to everybody. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. For watching me. You know I'm saying, Mr. I ain't said a word, but you know what I'm saying, and I say it damn. And I'm with we need you, Band-Aid gang. Thank you everybody for coming and joining. We started a little bit early, gang. Glad to have y'all. Waiting till a couple people get in here, gang. Make sure you double tap the screen if you on the vertical side. Let's run up some numbers and let's get ready to know the best. Got a whole bunch of new intel and data that has just came in. A Band-Aid gang is going to do our best to give you the best outlook and the best decisions that we can make when it comes to YouTube shit. I said, damn, hit that like button, man. I said, damn, we got 4 in the building. Y'all get in here. Y'all get here right now. Make sure y'all double tap that screen. You can hit the super chat, man. Run that super chat up. You cash have to donate to the channel. Content King. 1, 2, 3, let's see. Let's go. Band-Aid gang. Oh yeah. It's been a whole switch in the game, Band-Aid gang. Oh, everybody switching up, everybody telling it. Oh, I said damn. See, it ain't fun when a rabbit got the gun, gang. Let's get justice. We gonna do it like no other. Band-Aid gang. Let's go. I said, damn. Get your nieces, nephews, aunties, and cousins, and them. And tell them Band-Aid gang we live, y'all. Let's go. We started a little bit early, gang. We just relax and go get whatever you need to get. Settle down, get your nerves right. It's gonna be a great show tonight, y'all. We definitely got a couple breaking news on the timeline. We gonna break this shit down. I said damn. We also got an open panel. If you want to come onto the platform, the link is in the chat. Y'all get in here. We got 6 in the building. Let's run it up. Let's go. I said damn. We got 9 in the building. Let's go! Welcome, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Be blessed that you above the ground. Be thankful you above the ground instead of under it, y'all. I hope y'all like the Band-Aid gang radio. We came on, gang. We didn't have no visuals or nothing this morning, but I made sure, shouts out to Don Lemon, that I updated everybody what happened when it came to the autopsy. We're going to get ready to dive right in, gang. We ain't going to hold nothing back. I know you people have been waiting. Thank you guys for all the love that you guys have been showing to the channel. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely. So thank you guys. Make sure y'all get y'all memberships, gang, because we got some exclusive lives coming up. Now, the people got me into this a little bit. I was supposed to go on the Mo 3, which I still do. I got so much content. I'm about to go content crazy. I'm going content crazy. Plenty content. Let's go. Shouts out to Yolanda the Great Spills the Tea. Make sure y'all subscribe to her channel. Make sure you subscribe to Hey Peanut. That's the gang. And The Truth. The Boogie. Make sure y'all subscribe to those people. Kamikaze. Waiting on some of my mods to get in. But I'm going to dive right in. It's funny to hear some stuff coming from Plies. I like Plies a lot. But I didn't even watch this, gang. I just wanted to watch it with you. But here's his outlook. Let's start it. We're going to start it with this video before we get to the breaking news. Let's go.
Just real quick, man. I know a lot of y'all been following this whole Nolan Wells thing way longer and more in depth than me. I ain't took the time to dive in it But at some point I am and give y'all my honest opinion on it. But I was just on the plane and I seen like 2 clips. I guess it just was intended for me to see it. But it was one video they showed. They were just panning, I guess, Horn Island, showing y'all the boats and the people and the shit who was at Horn Island that day. And I say, shit. I just see all the flags and shit on all the boats. I say, shit, man, this is a rally. This is like a rally to me. Shit, I don't know what it looked like to y'all. I said, man, this is like a rally. And I already know what some people gonna say. Oh, them just people who love their country and with the American flag. Oh, listen, I love my country too. But it's just like I tell people about that American flag today means something totally different to me than it meant when I was in elementary. When I was in elementary, they just make us stand up, put our hand over our heart and sing and pledge allegiance. What they told me that flag stood for back then and how I feel when I see the American flag today, it's 2 different things. It's like when I just see the Confederate flag hanging off the back of that pickup truck. It told me all I needed to know about that mother pickup truck. I know that. To me, it did. And then I went a step further. I said, man, let me look at some of the let me screenshot some of these flags. Let me see what kind of flags even hanging in there. Look at this flag right there. Shit, ain't no way. That skull, I don't know what that even means. The skull head black. Ah, shit.
I say, shit, I ain't going over there again. Hell no. I mean, if I would have seen the flag, I probably would have had the same kind of feeling he had. I haven't got a chance to go see Horn Island. I didn't see many melanated people there, but the question is, why did they take Nolan Wells' phone? Why did they take the phone? Why? Now, we're going to break it down, gang, tonight. So let's go ahead and continue to ride this all the way out. See how I break this down. Let's go before we get to the potatoes.
TMZ, I see the 911 call they put out. I listened to the 911 call. This fucked me up. What at?
Hey, hello, can you hear me? Yeah, what?
Yeah, what? That lady said, can you hear me?
And he called them,
yeah,
gang.
what?
He called them, gang. And asked her, yeah, what? What's
Why I know what nice sound like, and I know what not nice sound like too. And then on the same call,
so tell me, how the hell you called 911 and when they answer the phone, Band-Aid gang, you say, yeah, what? Because he wasn't focused. He was busy looking at that body and they was trying to figure out what the hell we had done did. Hit the like button, gang. We can't play with y'all, man. We not stupid. We not gonna play stupid. It's all coming out. You call 911 when they answer the phone. You ask 911, yeah, what? You called us, gang. You called us, gang. How you gonna call me and ask me, yeah, what? That shows a total distraction. That young man was distracted. They was trying to figure this out. Now, word on the Band-Aid. Did I mention that? Hey, September Virgo, glad to have you up in here. I was panicking. I didn't see none of my mods. Glad you the first in here. So, word is on the streets, Band-Aid gang, that Nolan Wells saw some activity that them parents had done did. And he was finna call on their ass. Now, either they picked up some bricks. I don't know what they were doing out down there on them goddamn boats, gang. He had some bricks, or they had already been doing something, and he seen it. Now, that's just alleged. Nolan Wells seen something that he wasn't supposed to have done seen. Something went down, gang. Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
He said he's sinking. The boat sinking. She said, sir, you need us to get the National Coast Guard out there. No, don't send no guard. Huh? Bitch, and you sinking? Bitch, if I'm sinking, send any guard. Bitch, send a security guard. Bitch, any guard.
So hell, gang, man, they gotta ask ourselves this question. Hell, wait, I say, what you call him for? Man, they gang, what he call him for? Did he accidentally dial 911? And he said what? Panic mode, gang. September Virgo say, yeah, and it was on his cell phone. That part. That part. So we got some bombshells tonight, gang. Oh, yes, we do. Gang, I'm about to get my sound effects, everything. We about to do them all type of ways. Hit that like button if you just walked in. Make sure you sub up. It's all the new people that's walking in here in the chat. Respect my chat. Don't disrespect my chat, because we'll do you all type of ways, and y'all know that there. Band-Aid gang. Let's go.
The Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office announced that it has completed both Wells' autopsy and toxicology report, but those results are going to stay sealed until the grand jury gets the case. And while the medical findings are off limits, we know Wells' family is doing everything they can to get other information. Nolan's mother, for example, subpoenaed Meta, Snapchat, TikTok, Light360, seeking his messages, photos, GPS data as she pushes for answers as to what happened to her son. What are
Hey, man, his mama be in school, gang. His mama on top of the game like a scoreboard. I'm glad that she went to those measures right now, and it's documented. Let's go, gang.
Going to learn. I want to ask digital forensics analyst Morgan Wright to talk about this. Morgan, good.
Morgan, talk to us. Tell us something that we need. Morgan, we need to know it. Break it down. You got a serious face. Morgan, break this down to the game.
See you. I have a lot of questions. So first of all, if they get all these records, okay, assuming that the companies don't put up a legal fight, if they get everything they're looking for, best case scenario, what is that going to tell them about what happened to Nolan?
I want everybody to pay attention right now. We cutting the cloth right now. Pay attention to everything that this man said. Let's go.
That's a good question, Jesse. The thing I would do is I would take all of that information, I would map it against the GPS we have from the boat, when it left, when it slowed down, when it sped back up, map that with the call, and then map all of the digital media and the time and date stamps and location to that. So you can kind of create like a kaleidoscope, you know, just a compendium of things that show you the timeline. When were pictures taken? What kind of data is there? Was he seen on the island? Was he not? Was he seen on the boat? So, you know, we don't know what we know until they get this information, but I would start with the timeline. I would map the call against the GPS location and then map the social media when you get it to that.
Will they know if information has been deleted from any of the apps from the phone?
So he's asking, gang, pay attention. He's asking, now this is a critical question. Will they be able to tell us anything has been deleted from the phones or whatever soever? So do y'all get this information? Let's go. We're going to run with it.
And when it was deleted, because if they can create a timeline, if he was no longer on the boat and he was on Horn Island, would they be able to know what was deleted and when it was deleted?
Yeah, there's a couple companies out there, one that a lot of people have heard about.
A couple of companies. We want all of the companies. One company don't work. Nolan Wells' mom need to go to a couple of companies. A couple. We gonna clean out every one don't work. The mother needs to go through all of them. And even if she gets some good shit, go get some more, because another one might tell you some extra shit. And you could do them all type of ways. So you just heard that. Oh, you see, but you got to look at this man when he asked him that question.
And when it was deleted?
Now look at his eyes.
Yeah, there's a couple companies
Now
that
he's staring
Able
to
to
the
know
left.
what.
Now look at the stare that he just made, Band-Aid gang. We calculating everything. We tracking everything. He looked at a little timid, September Virgo, when he asked that question, like, damn, should I answer this right? And then it went to a couple of companies that can get it. See, Band-Aid gang, we pay attention to body language. We pay attention to all that. So when he asked him that, I want y'all to see his eyes. Damn, see, the Band-Aid gang, this is what I do. We're going to tread back a little bit, but I do want everybody to, exactly, September Virgo. He did look to the right. Okay, so let's see how this plays out, Band-Aid gang. Hit that like button.
Deleted from any of the apps from the phone and when it was deleted, because if they can create a timeline, if he was no longer on the boat and he was on Horn Island, would they be able to know what was deleted and when it was deleted?
I'm going in slow motion. Watch his eyes. There another slow motion. There it is. So now we're looking at his eyes. When he asked him that question, that eye right now, we put it in Band-Aid game motion. which is slow motion. He's wondering, damn, I want to answer this right. And then it goes to, well, there's a couple of companies. So us as trackers, how we track, right? We're going to go through the whole goddamn thing. Me and Angel, we go through the whole goddamn thing. We break it down over here at this desk. And we watch the body language. So now when he asked him that question, we put it in slow motion, Band-Aid Gang. And this is before he gives us the answer, September Virgo. He stares off into the oblivious. He stares off. And then he answers, let's go back in regular mode.
Yeah, there's a couple companies out there.
A couple of companies. We want them all.
A lot of people have heard about Celebrite. They do do a lot of great work on digital forensics, extraction. So yeah, if as long as it hasn't been tampered with or people have.
Wait a fucking minute, Band-Aid Gang. Did y'all catch that? I want y'all to catch that as long as it what? September Virgo. They're not going to do us like this. We're not diving in. They're trying to make it complicated for the Band-Aid Gang. They're trying to make it complicated for my people in my chat. Listen what he said. Unless it been what? We got to get that again. It's a lie. Pay attention to the signs and symbols. It's for the conscious mind. Listen what he said. It's a spin-off in his words.
A couple companies out there. One that a lot of people have heard about, Celebrite. They do do a lot of great work on digital forensics, extraction. So yeah, if as long as it hasn't been tampered with or people haven't gotten in there looking around, that's part of the problem, right? Anytime you go in there, you start changing the footprint of what that device was. You want it in the pristine state.
Well, how the fuck does that? Well, how the fuck is we supposed to understand that, gang? That's not math for the Band-Aid Gang. That's fucked up right there, gang. And they sent this motherfucker to scramble your data, gang. They sent them in here to scramble me and Angel and September Virgo's gang. Tell me, wait a minute, gang. Right here, this is very critical. If anybody wants to hit that link, I'm going to drop that link. I need somebody to help me with this. Because it's not mathing right now. The math is not mathing, Band-Aid Gang. Did he just not hustle talk us? He said as long as it's not, he did it quick, as long as it's not be tampered with, because when people go in there and they open it, well, people going in there doing this and doing that and changing that, gang. We're making everything count. Now listen.
If as long as it hasn't been tampered with or people haven't gotten in there looking around, that's part of the problem, right?
What people? Please explain to us what's going on, Bounce News. Hit that link, gang, because I need you up. Bounce, my girl tag you. Hit the link because either they talking too fast or we listening too motherfucking slow. I can't make this shit up. He just tried to fandangle us. Listen to this, gang. We need to know right here because we tracking tonight. I don't give a fuck how long it take. But I want somebody later on when all of this play out. This is going to be a critical part. Watch what I tell y'all in this case. What this man has just said, gang. They just fandangled us. They just played us, gang. I think we just been played. The Bounce News. Please put a 1 in the chat if you think they just played us, September Virgo, with that type of lingo that this man just tried to mac us with. You're not finna mac the Band-Aid Gang. Listen to what he said, gang. Let's go back. I don't give a fuck how long it take. I don't care how many times. I'm making sure this resonates into everybody's brain because this just came out an hour ago. Please double tap the screen, hit the like button. We got 31 in here. Stop playing with me. Let's go. Listen to this.
Of the apps from the phone and when it was deleted. Because if they can create a timeline, if he was no longer on the boat and he was on Horn Island, would they be able to know what was deleted and when it was deleted?
Yeah, there's a couple companies out there. One that a lot of people have heard about, Celebrite. They do do a lot of great work on digital forensics, extract.
So he said they do a lot of great digital, they're flawless. They do a lot of great shit. But when it comes to what he said after this,
So yeah, if as long as it hasn't been tampered with, or people.
So if it's been tampered with, who tampered with it, gang? So when there's some tampering with, who tampered with it? So how we gonna know that if it's been tampered with and it ain't been tampered with? Bro, they trying to sell us a dream on that because it's crunch time. Who is the people that he talking about that may have been tampering with the shit, Band-Aid gang? Thank you, September Virgo. He's afraid. See, what I don't do is miss a motherfucking beat, gang. And if you over here on my channel, y'all gonna learn not to miss a beat, and y'all gonna know how to track like I track. I be tracking. You're not gonna sit up here and tell me unless it's been tampered with. We count on you motherfuckers to give us that when y'all get this to us, that's the golden egg. It ain't been tampered with. So you telling us the evidence that everybody's been waiting for, that it's a possibility that that could have been tampered with? Well, if that's tampered with, who's the motherfucker that might have been tampered with it? Because you're not saying the kids. You're not saying the person that got it, that brought it to us. Please explain to me. I said, damn. Mama Kane, let Lynetta Kane in the chat. Please tell your son if he overthinking. Because you know I can overthink. I can be overthinking. I just need to know. I just need to know. This is the type of shit that gets me in trouble, and they want to take my monetization away. They didn't want me to talk about Donald Trump because I did him all type of ways because I pay attention. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now look. Bounce. This is what you missed, gang. This is what you missed. Let's see if we track it. Mama Kane. Now look, let's see what we missed, gang.
There's a couple companies out there. One that a lot of people have heard about, Celebrite. They do do a lot of great work on digital forensics, extraction. So yeah, if as long as it hasn't been tampered with or people haven't gotten in there looking around, that's part of the problem, right? Anytime you go in there, you start changing the footprint of what that device was. You want it in the pristine state, but Celebrite could still aid and
put a one in the chat if that's a spinoff, gang. Now, if it's been tampered with, come on, man. Where we going with this? So what you giving us ain't all the way golden because the next, your spinoff is always a possibility that it got tampered with. More than one person was dealing with it. All right, we're going to keep on tracking, y'all. They ain't going to slip that past us. So let's go.
Extraction like that could tell you what was there. And most of the time, depending on the operating system, who logged in and how, could tell you what was deleted, when it was deleted. That would give you some ideas if it was deleted. I'm not saying it was, but if it was, a Celebrite report could give you a lot of good facts.
There is news that came out that the family has also issued preservation notices to the family members of Nolan's friends, and I believe investigative agencies as well. My legal point of view, you're putting the pieces in place for a potential lawsuit. I've always wondered, if you go through the lawsuit route, you go through discovery, can they get answers that they may not get through the criminal investigation, the legal investigation, the law enforcement investigation? What kind of data could they get there, and how would that help them in their search for answers?
Well, look, yeah, first of all, the preservation notice, when I was a detective, we did the same thing too. It just says, don't delete the records, don't do anything. Spoilage is indication of guilt. I mean, that can be inferred in a court. So I think so far the families are all cooperating from what the record shows. So, and then what you would look at is look for communications, look for text messages, look for anything that shows contemporaneous texts or communications that might be tied with the disappearance of Nolan, when he disappeared, or was he seen? Did anybody say I saw him? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can get. But when you do that, that's a civil suit, right? So you can get a lot of information in discovery in a civil suit, but the grand jury can get a lot more information because they have full subpoena power, right, including the toxicology, including the autopsy.
By the way, I love that our digital guy here almost froze. I mean, it seems almost ironic, but we're good. We got you, Morgan. I want to play you something. This was a big piece of news this week. So Nolan Wells' family hired an audio engineer to review this distress call that was made from the boat that day. I want to play, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting word. Let's just take a break. Stay with me. We'll talk about it on the other side.
You bet.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now.
Now, why did that actually happen the way that it just happened, Band-Aid gang? I'm going to bring the audio up now so we all can hear it. So what we're going to do, don't spam my chat. We're not going to be calling names. I'm going to delete you. I'm going to delete your comment. Next racial comment, slur, or anything like that, trying to spam my chat, I will get you up out of here. This ain't the spam channel. You come over here, you come correct, and we'll get you out of here. Send you straight back. We'll shoot you straight to the moon. We'll shoot you to the moon. So let's get straight to the meat and potatoes. Now, there was a reason there was so much information in that clip, right? That he said, hold on, he was about to give it to us, gang. He was about to give it to us. So when they got off on that, because it was so much bullshit in there. Even the guy just spoke, I'm calling bullshit. That evidence can be tampered with, and we're relying that when you got it, it can't. This technology is too good for them to sit back and play us like that. Now, Southside Frog said, you can put in for a motion of discovery, but if you're facing charges, they can use that against you. It's a scary tactic. So y'all pay attention to that, all right? Great comment. I'm going to pin that right there, brother. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. So I do got the clip right now that I'm going to play that. So let me see where I got next on the timeline. Okay, now we're going to get the distress call, right? It's clear as day what we got going on here. If we just, everybody listen to Plies. When they made the phone call, now let's make it make sense, gang. There's nothing but foul play. How is it foul play, C-Dub? They called 911, right? And when 911 answered the phone, gang, they asked him what's going on. He said, huh? What? You called 911? What you asking 911 what for? They were panicking, gang. Now Bart is telling it all. Bart, it wasn't even 20 people. Bart is giving up 20 names, gang. Bart said, I'm giving 20, I got 20, I'm giving up 20 names because he is about to get close. Bart, it wasn't even 20 motherfuckers around there, and Bart got 20. I said, hit the like button. I said, dirt. Bart gave up 20 motherfuckers because he was panicking. They panicking so bad they putting out $50,000 bounties. They panicking right now, Band-Aid gang. When it all hit, now they panicking. Now we about to do them all type of ways. We finna hit a home run, y'all. We finna hit a home run. We just gonna break it down. We ain't gonna try to do too much damage. We ain't bringing that many Band-Aids with us tonight. So let's go ahead and dig in.
To you after a car accident.
Okay, let's go.
There's a better way to get compensated that's faster, easier, and could get you way more money without spending years in court or paying expensive lawyers up front. If you've been in a
Everyone in the background is saying, is he dead? Nolan, wake the f up.
Claiming they're sinking.
See that lady right there? She gave it all up, gang. Our ears are not deceiving us. Because you know why? The caption is on, gang. Now tell me, gang, you can't play with the caption now, right? Hit the like button. You can't play with the caption. Even the caption, and y'all didn't think about it like that, right? The caption is capturing. You know when you do any videos, whatever you caption, pretty much if you don't say the word right, it might text it wrong or whatever the case may be. Thank you, Bart Simpson. Yeah, I said damn. But the caption ain't gonna tell you no lie, just like the calculator not either. Calculator ain't gonna tell you no lie. And that caption might spell the word wrong, but that caption didn't spell the word wrong. It said exactly what they had done said. Now, Southside Frog said the boat left on the island at 4.26, right? They left and went to Pop's house. Boat landing at 6:14 p.m. They returned to the island. So almost an hour and 23 minutes unaccounted for. Now he cooking. We're going to let him cook. So that tells me something. Hit the like button. Double tap my screen or we ain't going no further. Double tap the screen. Hit the goddamn motherfucking super chats, gang. 50-cent super chats going out. Cash App is pinned up. Let's run it up. I ain't got to live like this. So let's go, gang. Why somebody say, oh my God? Nolan don't die. Sure he's dead? Sure he... Oh, sure. Now we heard the word dead, and that word dead was very clear. The word dead, unalive, was very clear, gang. I don't care what you try to scramble my data, scramble my eggs in my brain, and say the other words wasn't clear. But the word D-E-A-D was very clear, Band-Aid gang. Hit the like button. Double tap the screen if you ain't got that option. We ain't got to live like this over here on this channel. Shouts out to my gang. Let's go. Listen to that. We don't play. He's dead? Now don't tell me the word he's dead wasn't clear. Who's dead? We heard the word he. Did I mention that? I must have left that part out. But the Band-Aid gang is going to talk about that a little bit later. After we do them all type of ways tonight. Let's go, gang. Why is somebody on that boat saying, oh my God? But they don't want, they said they sinking, gang. They said the boat's sinking. Do you want to send somebody out there? No, but you sinking, no. I said, damn, let's go, gang.
Everyone in the background is saying, is he dead? Nolan, wake the up.
Claiming they're sinking and calling for help.
We're not going to play the race card. So don't come over here on that race card shit, right? Don't come over here with the race card shit, because this ain't got nothing to do with race. You want me to tell you why it ain't got nothing to do with race? Because if it has something to do with race, this woman right here, because see, I don't play no games. She wouldn't have said what she had done said. I feel the same way. If it was a black person and it was wrong, it was wrong, and we going to do them all type of ways. Don't play the race card with us, especially when you see this woman give it up right here. When you want to play the race card and all you dope fiend-ass trolls want to come over and disrespect my chat, don't talk to me playing a race card, because I'm a reverse it on your ass.
Everyone in the background is saying, is he dead?
Don't play the race card with me. Play the race card with her, because I ain't racist. Don't play the race card with her, gang. She did what was right. That lady spoke.
Yes, they did.
I said, damn. Yes, they did. Now we cooking, gang. Let's cook.
Nolan, wake the up.
Claiming they're sinking and calling for help. And yet, in the background, are we really hearing all of this other activity?
Nobody has ever, none of the kids on this boat have ever admitted that anybody said that they thought Nolan was dead.
She said, is he sure he dead? I'm about to drop the link. You sure he dead? Somebody asked to drop the link, so we're about to drop the link. It is an open panel. If anybody want to get up here and get on these ones and twos, don't be scared. I don't bite. Let's go. We got us one, gang. Somebody just said, Nolan, don't die. We write her. Did y'all just hear that person say, Nolan, don't die? Let's hear it again, because that was clear too, Band-Aid gang.
They thought Nolan was dead.
Now, he's dead was clear as a bird. He's dead is clear as a bird. Don't come with the race card. That was clear. Tell you what else is clear. Now, they could have said that Nolan wasn't clear. But look. Oh, my God. Nolan don't die was clear. Nolan don't die was clear. Southside Frog say when dude was on the phone with the emergency lady, asked, Who's on the boat? Pay attention, Band-Aid gang. Southside Frog cooking. And old boy replied, everybody. When dude was on the phone with the emergency lady, that lady asked, who's on the boat? Old boy replied, everybody. Hit the like button. Southside Frog, make sure you sub up, gang. Everybody. They didn't say Nolan was missing. We got one missing. We don't know where Nolan is, but guess what? We hear them saying Nolan. We hear them saying, oh my God, Nolan don't die. We hear all that being day gang. Clear as day. Why is it taking so long for us to get answers? That's the question, gang. I don't see why it's saying, Mama, I can't connect you. Angel finna send it through to your phone. Now, let me say something before I knock your drawers off. I hear these black colleagues, colleagues aren't working for you guys. You're the only culture. I'm not even going to read the rest of that. Somebody knock his drawers off and teach him a lesson. I don't need you, never needed you, don't care about you, don't come in here because we about to shoot you to the moon right now. You're disrespecting my chat for attention. You a bot? Who are you? Who sent you, bro? Donald Trump sent you over here, try to take my channel again and sabotage? Stop playing with us. That's the same guy. He want to come back over here and mess with the Band-Aid gang. September Virgo, we got a whole pack of Band-Aids. We gonna kick him in his ass. Yeah, we gonna kick you straight in your ass. Mama, look in your phone. Thank you, September Virgo. Southside Frog said, look, y'all. Where's Nolan? Oh, my God. But we all on the boat. We're not playing over here. I will do the internet all type of ways. Why you gonna do them all type of ways? I will rewind, stop, rewind, and that's what makes me so good when it comes to when I track. When I track, and I make sure all my subscribers, all my supporters get it. So we ain't got to go back. We don't go in reverse. Our transmission don't go in reverse. Transmission don't work, and we ain't got no rear view mirrors over here. Hell no, my transmission don't work. So we ain't got to go back in reverse, gang. So when y'all go over there and listen to this shit, y'all know we did it over here, and it sat in your peace and love to you, William Lynch. Illuminati said we all know black boys don't swim. Now stop it. Now don't do him like that. Eliminated, I'm not gonna stop playing with me, gang. Don't play with me. I know how to swim. My mama know how to swim. My kids know how to swim. My girl know how to swim. Black people know how to swim. How the hell we wouldn't know how to swim, and half of us, when they brought them over on that slave ship, jumped off the boat and tried to swim.
That's why they got swimming.
Stop playing with us, gang.
We learn from swimming.
Yeah, black people know how to swim, and some white people I know don't know how to swim either. So I'm not saying, Will, that you illuminated that you said something wrong, but I'm just trying to correct you, gang. I'm just trying to correct you. Let's keep tracking, gang. We right here.
Assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
See, right there, that's a distraction. They wondering what the hell we gonna do with this body. What we finna do with the body? Now listen to what was going on in the background, Band-Aid gang, when she asked that.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir?
Look, somebody said, wake up. Wake the F up. Wake the F up, gang. Somebody said, wake up. They people in here. Now look, dang, this is how we gonna do it. Now from when an old bird flew through, you know, I hang around them old people. I got an old person soul. And the old person supposed to get up here, right? Told me, gang, that that Nolan saw some type of activity that the parents had going on, gang. And he was about to call them boys on the parents, gang. And all of a sudden he came up missing. Was it some bricks on the boat? And Nolan was like, hell no, because they down there in that Gulf. Did they have some bricks? Did they drop another body off? What was going on? It was something going on that Nolan Wells seen, and he didn't want no part of, gang. Nolan didn't want no part of what they had going on, gang. Shots fired. Let's go, gang. Run my lights up and get me hyped up, gang. Double tap my screen. We got 213 in here. This is why I ain't want to get on the case, because y'all got me on the radar now, and they gonna try to do me like they did me when I was doing Trump and Epstein all type of ways. Well, we here now. All gas, no brakes. Pay attention to your surroundings, gang. We beat you. Let's go.
Sir, can you give me a description? Ankles?
Now, all the time he paused, you know why? Because he's shocked. He looking, he like, oh, shit. He can't even answer, nigga. You in district, the boat sinking. The boat sinking, September, Virgo. The boat is sinking. Let's continue.
Hello?
Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's
Even like Angel said, even
She
if
even know something going on, y'all.
there it
She
is.
hear it in her voice.
There it is.
She know it's something going on.
There it is. There it
Keep
is.
on there, babe. Let the people
Even the
know how
dispatch
you feel.
know something is going on, like Angel said.
down.
Pay attention to her voice.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone
Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up.
It's the
We're just
dispatch
sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
He watching what's going on.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
That killed it right there.
Yeah.
That killed it. 237. Did y'all hear that, gang? Even the operator sounds suspect, right? She's sounding suspect because she knows, guess what, gang? That they're suspect. What operator sits back and hear the boy say he's sinking, right? It turns back and say, she paused for a minute. We know this is not fake. Let me. This is not Donald Trump channel, fake news, and none of that. You know why? People's lives could be in danger. TMZ, certain people have put this out. It's authentic. Stop playing it. Stop playing that game, bro. They wouldn't even put this type of shit out if it wasn't authentic, because guess what? It would fuck up their brand. It would cause lawsuits. That's why it's out here, gang. Motherfucker ain't gonna put their brand or whatever in jeopardy for some fake shit. So let's just keep it real. I admire your opinions, well, whatever you say, but just don't disrespect my chat. Don't call the N-word. Don't say the word blacks and all that type of stuff. We don't play the word blacks and all that. And, you know, but you can say whatever you want to say. But guess what? Numbers don't lie. Numbers are the universal law. I mean, a universal language. The numbers are not going to lie. These words aren't scrambled because we all speak the same language and we understand exactly what we heard. Don't be mad at me, gang.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership like guaranteed. I don't have
All
the
right,
tag
unless
on
you
here.
have a
We got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at
You are hearing the audio distress
Now listen
call
to that, Nancy
from
Grace
the
call.
boat. That is the boat on which Nolan Wells.
Now, we're not going to play with Nancy. Shouts out to Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace is not going to play with you. So don't be mad at me. Guess who you need to be mad at? Nancy Grace. And you can't be mad when she did the Casey Anthony. We all watched the Casey Anthony. We saw how she stepped on their ass. We saw how she steps on people. We saw it. So stop playing. So when Nancy Grace gets into your shit, your ass in trouble. Stop playing with us. Now Nancy Grace is in this shit. Let's rock.
Went to Horn Island. Now, there have been a lot of different accounts about whether he was on the boat when he came back from Horn Island, when he was supposed to come back from Horn Island. He never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did she say clear? I said, Band-Aid Gang chat. I'm talking to my chat. Make sure y'all sub up. Double tap the screen. Let's get them likes up. Did she say clearly? Did you think Nancy Grace is going to risk her brand for some goofy shit? Do you think that, gang? Do you think that? Scott Peterson? Do y'all forget about the Scott Peterson? The Casey Anthony? Everything she said was golden. When Nancy Grace is in your shit, you're in trouble. Your ass is in trouble. You're in trouble, bro. So she said clear. We ain't got to live like this, Band-Aid Gang. Let's continue.
He never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version, which we obtained.
Clearly here, she said that we obtained. So when she's speaking of we, because I got to cross my T's and dot my I's, she has a team of people. It goes down. It goes down. Before they put that material out. Before it get to her, guess what? Guess what, gang? It's going to be good.
From Horn Island, when he was supposed to come back from Horn Island, he never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version, which we obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Research. They released it. It's not something off TikTok or.
Oh my God. Where's the haters at now, Band-Aid Gang? Where are they at now? I hear crickets. I hear crickets. Where are the goddamn robots at now? Where are the robots at now, gang? 358 people because they know I'm dropping facts. Double tap my screen. Where are all the robots at now? Don't come to me. You heard it over here on my channel. We broke it down. Nancy Grace just dropped the gem. So all these dope fiends sitting on the corner, doing what you want to do, stealing from your auntie, smoking through antennas and all that type of shit. We not falling for it because I'm going to do it again. I'm putting Band-Aids on niggas tonight. Yes, September Virgo, nothing but crickets, gang. This is why they like me. This is why when I go live, they know I'm passionate about my content. And I ain't putting out nothing that I ain't goddamn it did the right way. Now listen what she said, gang. So my chat, everybody in my chat, that's in my chat right now, when y'all better call bullshit when it comes in here. They cannot talk anymore. Listen what she said. It ain't no, like she said, this ain't no TikTok. Let's go.
Obtained from the Mississippi. when he was supposed to come back from Horn Island. He never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version, which we obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Research. They released it. It's not something off TikTok or Insta. And that's what you hear. Let me hear 184 one more time, please.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right.
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. What are we hearing?
Nancy, this is the audio call from the boat that Nolan Wells took out to Horn Island. And the boat is attempting to leave Horn Island because the boat is taking on water. What we are hearing is the call from the boat to the group they have.
Cito, let me help you. Reminder, Dave Mack, we've only got 1 hour to cover a lot of territory. That is the Cito call where the grandson of the boat owner thinks.
Man, we need to get up to 200 likes, man. We got 500. And we have 500 people up in here, 544 people up in here, man. Please double tap the screen. Let's keep the video in the algorithms, gang. I'm for real. Let's keep it in the algorithms. So when the people see this, they know that we coming full throttle. Come on, man. We got 442 people in here. Let's go, gang. Get the likes up. September Virgo, check the dough. Please give me some intel on how many likes we got. Let's go.
They're taking on water. Joining me right now, special guest Brandon Tatum. He is a former police officer with Tucson PD, and he is the star of the...
I want all y'all to listen to this Dope Fiend Planet sellout, gang. And I'm just talking about selling out. I ain't talking about selling out on the black race. This dude is clearly a plant. Listen to what he does. Nancy Grace finna do him all type of ways. Nancy Grace is finna do this man all type of ways, gang. This dude is a plant sellout. Thank you for the jewels. I do appreciate it, gang. Thank you for supporting. Y'all can double tap that screen. I haven't really asked for donation, but y'all can hit that super chat. September Virgo, how many people we got in here? Because we ain't got to live like this. Get your membership because I got exclusive content coming out, y'all. Get your memberships, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss me coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. I'm stepping on shit. The reason why I yell, because that's how I talk, gang. That's why it's reached up to 544 people, because I'm passionate. I bet you can't get on here and do what I just done did. Don't come over here playing and disrespecting my chat, gang. This is a real emotional time that is going on right now. Let's go. Oh, my bad. Hold on, gang. Turn that off real quick. I see what's going on. That sound, hold on, gang. That's a bag blowing with my APU. I am a truck driver. I do apologize for that sound. I stop it. That's my APU. I am a truck driver. I drive 18-wheelers, so a bag was blowing with my AC on. So I hope that killed that sound that everybody was hearing. Let's go, gang.
Officer Tatum on YouTube. He has interviewed Nolan's friends. Now, we're about to bring on two experts, each one taking a different viewpoint on that call. But Officer Tatum, thank you for being with us tonight. No matter what you say, just know you're going to get hate mail. Doesn't matter what you say. If the angel Gabriel came down right now and spoke on this case.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the tactic that Nancy Grace just pulled on him. What kind of play? She just pulled a play on him. Do you not think that Nancy Grace know that this dude is cap? Y'all hearing it straight from me, straight from the horse's mouth. This was a tactic that she pulled, right? That is actually going to expose these guys, this guy. I want y'all to peep this in real time, right? She said she made him feel like, okay, if you're going for basically Nolan Wells and you say the wrong thing, you're gonna get hate mail. But she knew he was gonna do the total opposite. She knew it. She knows he's a buster. Now watch, that's why I love Nancy Grace. Because Nancy Grace will play your ass. And you got to know how Nancy Grace works. So now watch this game. Look how she played it.
You're going to get hate mail.
People play.
We're about to bring on two experts, each one taking a different viewpoint on that call. But Officer Tatum, thank you for being with us tonight. No matter what you say, just know you're going to get hate mail. Doesn't matter what you say. If the angel Gabriel came down right now and spoke on this case, he would get hate mail. That said, what do you make of that audio, officer?
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for having me on. If you put the audio within context, it is an impossibility unless these people are prophesying that somehow they're saying Nolan's name or projecting that Nolan is somehow injured, hurt, or killed, because we have witnesses that have come out. When I interviewed Warren, a lot of those kids that I talked to already alluded to this way before the audio came out, that they were gone. And people had already saw Nolan after they had left. The young lady, Katie, that he was hanging out with, I saw a text message from her alluding to the fact that she never saw him get on that boat at all. We have video of the boat that we shared on our social media page, and it shows all the occupants on the boat, and Nolan was not there. And so if a person thinks that they've heard something on the audio, they have to compare it with context.
He been paid, y'all. He's a plant.
Maybe they said, is it dead? Talking about items that could potentially have died, or
items that potentially had died, gang. Is it dead? Items that died, gang. If this is not the most ridiculous comeback, gang, that I've ever, items that died, September Virgo. Some items, I said, damn, these people playing with us, gang. Let's go.
damage on the boat, given the fact that they were sinking. So I think people need to put this in context and reevaluate what they're listening to on the video, because if you are going to make a staunch stance in the wrong direction, in my opinion, by saying they're obviously talking about Nolan, it is incredibly impossible. One more thing real quick, that when you look at where they were at when they made the phone call and their GPS coordinates, it literally put them on the island. And we know, and not on the physical island, but really
gang? You and who know? Because apparently you with the wrong motherfuckers, gang. Let's go.
Close proximity to the island. And we know, because we have another video of Nolan being out there and also all the other boats surrounding him, that this would have had to happen very near to hundreds of people in hundreds of different boats. So somebody would have seen something if there was a dramatic commotion like this occurring on that boat.
I hear what
Band-Aid gang, look at Nancy. Band-Aid gang, she did him all type of ways. Let's go, y'all.
you're saying, Officer Brandon Tatum. That last part that you said, that there were hundreds of people around and they would have seen what happened. That part, I disagree with that. John Mobley joining us, veteran.
Wait a minute, gang. Nancy Grace, gang, look, she's still like, bruh, you fell for the bait. Nancy Grace can't even look in the camera at this point, y'all. She's like, bruh, for real? Nancy Grace has not even looked straight at the camera because she's calling bullshit. Look at her face, gang. Look at her eyes. She has not looked into the camera because she knows he's stupid. See, I said, damn, we gonna do them all type of ways tonight, man. Double tap that screen, Band-Aid gang.
Part that you said, that there were hundreds of people around and they would have seen what happened. That part, I disagree with that. John Mobley joining us, veteran trial lawyer out of
And
South
look at this weird looking ass dude. He a sellout too. Look at this sellout. His teeth bigger than his head, gang. Let's go.
Carolina. John, take off your defense hat one moment and let's address that statement. Do I have to say Tupac? That just comes off the top of my head. Crimes happen all the time in a crowded area and nobody sees anything. Either they say they didn't see anything or they really didn't see anything because it all blends in, right? It all blends in. I've had a little boy thrown off the 3rd level of the Mall of America almost to his death. He did die and he was brought back to life. Nobody saw what happened.
What?
A guy threw him over. People were all over the mall. The food court was crowded. Nobody saw. I had like 2 witnesses. So
imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Let's get this out here, y'all.
I think part of it is, Mobley, you don't expect to see something. And so your mind is not interpreting, it's not intercepting what you're physically seeing. And again, we don't know what happened. We don't know why Nolan Wells has a red mark on the back of his occipital. We don't know. Was he hit? Did he fall? Then fall off a boat? It could have been any number of things. Some nefarious, some an accident, some negligent. My point is, just because there's a lot of people around, that does not guarantee you witnesses, Mobley. You know that better than anybody with all the cases you've tried.
Well, Nancy, I got to call it like I see it. I think there are 2 things I want to say to address that. The first part, I would agree with you that, yes, a lot of people can be around and they can notice something, that something can happen rather.
Only thing that excuse me, gang, I know y'all tracking right now, but let me say this. Only thing I can think, just hypothetically thinking, if he has a red bruise on the back of his neck, I'm looking at a slip or on the edge of the boat, the back of his head could have hit the edge of the boat and then he fell into the water. But how did that happen? That's the only thing I can see from the back of the neck. But how would that happen? So that's what I'm looking at. So let's go.
And people not see it. However, I think the way that the human mind works, we would all agree, is we perceive things all the time, okay? And we may perceive something that at the time we perceive it, it is not deemed significant. However, in this case, I do believe that if someone did see something that they didn't pay particular attention to involving Nolan Wells, once all of this has come out, the way the mind works is it'll trigger what they saw before because now it becomes significant, okay? So I do agree that people can perceive things and not pay attention to them, but when something significant happens later, sort of like being robbed, everybody's wearing, but if that when somebody robs you and later on you have to recall what that person was wearing, what they looked like, you can recall it because it's important at that point. But at the time that
what type of witchcraft is you trying to make us believe, bro? That's cap, bro. You should work at a hat store. We're not believing that, bro. We're not any garden thinking. We don't think like that, bro. Don't try to put the wool over our faces, bro.
they perceived that it was not important. So that's what I want to make sure I discuss. And I do want to address, you talk about the red mark on the back of his head. I mean, I think that is a red herring. That's something that everybody kind of latched onto because they're so desperate for any information that might be related to the cause of his death. But even the own pathologist that conducted the autopsy did not
him up. Mobley, are you a medical doctor? Yes, no.
She done did both of these dudes all type of ways, gang. Knocked the rubber out the elastic in his drawers. And he's still smiling. Dummy.
I know how to examine forensic evidence based on the countless homicides that I've tried.
Listening, not hearing, yes, no. You're not a medical doctor.
I'm a jurist doctor.
Are you a medical examiner?
I am not.
No. Put up the back diagram, the back of the head of Nolan Wells from the second autopsy right now.
There it is.
You know what? I give it to you, Mobley. You're a great trial lawyer. A medical examiner, you ain't.
go, gang.
And I don't know why you're saying people are latching onto this, grabbing at straws. I'm looking right at it, man. Should I believe?
Hey, y'all, Nancy, great. Hey, man, enjoy yourself, man. That's how we do up here, man. Hey, Miss Liz, hit that link, Miss Liz.
Come up.
Oh, my God, gang. Let's go.
You are my lying eyes. I am looking at the second autopsy. And I have questioned multiple actual medical examiners, actual doctors that say that means something. Put him up again.
Helen, thank you so much.
What world?
So much,
in what world would the first medical examiner remove Nolan's throat if it did not have something probative about it, something that proves something? Did they remove his toe? No. His elbow? No.
Anybody want to leave in the chat when she just made that statement, right? Why do you think? Because now it kind of, you can visualize it a little bit more when she said that. Like, what do you think that they possibly, why would they remove his throat? What would possibly be wrong with his throat? Is that some kind of way of hiding, drowning? I don't know. Why was the throat removed? If anybody got an idea that has a little bit more knowledge, why would they remove the throat? Enlighten the gang. If there was foul play. If there was foul play, why would they remove the throat? If we got any type of experts in here, please feel free. September Virgo says evidence. That's why the throat was removed. Evidence. We got to be a little bit more specific on evidence, September Virgo. What do you mean by evidence? Someone put he was choked. There it is. That's a good one. So now we tracking that. The link is in the chat, Miss Liz. Possibility of strangulation. Marks. There it is. Strangled, choked, some put around his neck, choked. Okay, now everybody on point. So now let's all think that, because when they say remove the throat, now let's just take it to the next level and say why. And I'm glad people participated and said it, so it could have been strangled. Definitely. Marks around the throat. Miss Liz is up here. Hey, Miss Liz.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
What do you think about these comments, Miss Liz? Somebody said the reason why, since you are a lawyer, we do have a lawyer in the building, gang. So, Miss Liz, what do you think about the reason why a lot of people said strangulation? He was hung. What do you feel about that?
I think he was jumped from behind.
What do you mean, jumped from behind?
Because of the things that happened in the back of the neck, the tension and stuff from the back of the neck. I could be wrong, but I think he was jumped from the back, from behind.
Somebody said he was drugged. Alien
Could be.
Of intelligence. So you say the Anunnaki, somebody came and got you guys.
Oh, wow.
He was struck so hard they complete that. Let's continue to track, Miss Liz. Thank you for coming up. Great show that we had the other day. I appreciate you, gang. We was all on point. Shouts out to the Diamond Gang. Thank everybody, Kamikaze, everybody for participating the other day. Thank you, guys. Let's go.
His eyeball, his nose? No, they took his throat. Do not tell me that a medical doctor, which you are not.
She just checked him. Miss Liz told him, you're not a medical doctor. You didn't ask him nothing right. You need to get out of here. We don't want you here anymore. Look at his face expression, Band-Aid Gang. It has totally changed. Where them big ass teeth that you were showing us? What them choppers that you were showing us? His whole face has changed.
Well, I heard someone make a very good, valid point today. D.L. Hughley said, D.L. Hughley said Black people have the right to be concerned. You remember that case, Natalie Holloway?
Not quite. I don't. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I don't want to make myself look stupid if you ask me another question and I don't even know how to answer it. What happened to that lady?
Natalie Holloway was the little young white girl. She was on the news all day long. Every time you turned on the TV, she had went on the senior trip. Mm-hmm. And she came back unalived. and her parents was making pleas, and it really wasn't no type of. It wasn't no type of. They didn't give a real good explanation why this young girl went off with her friends and then came back unalive. So they went to news media outlets. They did everything they could do. I'll send you that.
Thank you. Please do.
I'll send it to you.
Because the other case, that when the three parents came up for the other two people that were in Tennessee that they spoke about yesterday when Ben Crump was there, that one that I played this morning was sad. Said that he drowned. He was on the swimming team. They said the young man drowned. Then the parents of the person took the boy's phone and everything, and they didn't even get locked up, gang. And I'm going to cover that. I'm going to dig into that because that is just as interesting as this, if not even worse.
But you have people like Brandon Tatum.
They said that they deleted the messages in that young man's phone, and they still didn't lock those parents up. I can't make this shit up.
But you have people like Brandon Tatum offended and angry and defending these young teenagers that these parents are asking questions about what happened to their son. How are you going to be upset? How are you going to be more upset than the parents who just lost a child? Because they're asking questions about what happened to their son.
And can't nobody, if that hasn't happened to you, can't none of us feel, don't none of us that's here that know what that feels like. To lose your child before you go. Most of us want to go before our children, but our children young, come on, man, we can't even fathom that. It shouldn't even be people that's in this chat having anything to say. The only thing that you guys need to be coming in here is just trying to find out the truth. Because it could be your child. That's the shit that we in here for. We're not playing the color card game. If you want to play the color card game, blame it on Nancy Grace, gang. If it was a color card game, I would be with this black dude over here that's getting kicked in his ass. She done kicked him all in his ass, bro.
Well, technically, it is a color card game because if Nolan Wells was white, those black boys would be up under the jail. They would have been brought in for and questioning. Their phones and stuff would have been subpoenaed and seized. It would have been a different turnout. It would have been a totally different turnout.
At the end, what prevails, Miss Liz? Justice.
Does it? In the state of Mississippi?
I just believe justice will catch you. That's universal law. Universal law is promised to us. Justice will catch you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you, how many people that have gotten karma, but they didn't get it through the system. Shit started failing. They ended up unalived. The system may not have got them, but the Most High got your ass. That's just universal law.
Yeah.
So what happens here in the judicial system, their karma is going to be messed up. But I believe truly, we got us something right here. And this is going to open up the door for a lot of shit. Let's go, gang.
Took the throat out of this young man because it means nothing. And then, you know what? I can't even hear you. Straight out to Joe Scott Morgan joining us, professor of forensics, death investigator.
Miss Leah, she said, I can't even hear you. Get your ass up out of here. You
Dismissed him. Dismissed him.
Get out of here.
That second doctor did not highlight that in red for nothing. That doctor is not grabbing at straws, as Mobley said. I don't know why he's saying that.
No, you're right. He has purpose. We have purpose in everything that we do in the medical legal world. And so when you see this highlighted area, it's unique in the way he has diagrammed it here. He even demonstrates that it has almost like margins to it. And, you know, that's what has left a big question for us, because it's not like it's diffuse all over the place where you've got these kind of spotty alignments.
Okay.
He's got a margin. It almost looks like a rectangle, doesn't it? But when we begin to see things like that, we think about patterns. And that's some of the questions that have yet to.
Y'all tracking what's going on right now. Y'all keep tracking. We don't want to have to fall back. We don't want you to go to some other platform and act like you don't know what's going on, because we did drop the gym right here tonight, y'all. So this ain't, you ain't got to go. You know, we right here. So we going to pick up what we left off. So, you know, come back over here and get some of this goddamn good information. Let's go, gang.
Be answered. But what he does say in his relative to the second examination is that he did a multi-layered dissection. Now, this area had not been dissected by the ME's office in Mississippi. So what he's doing is he's going layer by layer. We're talking about the skin. We're talking about the sub-Q fat. We're talking about the musculature that's under there. And yes, there is musculature under there. And what his conclusion is, Nancy, is that there's significant decomposition at this point in time. So he cannot make a determination about these markings one way or another. He needs more information. And admittedly, in this second autopsy, he says this is pending investigation. And that's key here.
Okay. Joe Scott Morgan.
Yes.
He, the first medical examiner, removed the throat.
Yes.
No other part of the body, except for the lungs, removed the throat and the lungs. We know why he took the lungs. I don't have to be a death investigator like yourself with 10,000 death investigations under my belt to know why I took the lungs, to see if no one drowned. But the fact that someone has a lungs full of water does not tell me how they got in the water. Did he fall? Was he hit? Was he held under? Was it an accident? Did you see that video? Pull it up if you can, control room, of all those ships, all those boats out there. If he was between one of those boats, lost his footing, went under, got the riptide, no one may have noticed. All right? No one may have noticed. Look at all that. And there were apparently 300 or so people out there. This is just a tiny microcosm. It's July the 4th. Everybody's at Horn
Let's
Island.
stop it right there. Now, let me ask a question. Chat, please. Let me get your opinions. Yeah, you can hear us. Miss Liz, you can unmute your mic. I can hear a TV in the background. That's why I muted your mic. No, it was Miss Liz. So let me ask you a question. And I'm asking the chat. But, Mom, I would like to hear your opinion on this. Do you think that all these people were out here when it happened? Or do you think they were gone when this happened? And they may be in the last ship going. What do you feel about it?
Hey, Ms. Liz, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Miss Lynetta. How about you?
I'm good. I haven't been following this too much. I can't, because he looks so much like my grandson. And the more I look at him, the more I want to cry. But you can tell somebody hit him with some item on the boat. And from what I get, little bits and pieces, I'm not sure, but I heard that some of their parents was on another boat out there. So it's hard to say that this boy got killed and nobody else saw it except for the ones that was on the boat and took the pictures, and nobody took him to jail. But one of the parents is an attorney. Somehow, I feel, me personally, that the parents is involved too, because they were the one that told them to delete those messages. However, you can always go back and pull them up. That's how I feel about it. I feel that the parents had something to do with it. They helped them hide the object. They're hiding a lot of evidence that they know their kid did. And coming from Mississippi, it's prejudice as hell there.
You and Miss Liz are from Mississippi.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
The same female that did autopsies on Noah just did the autopsy on the guy that Colin Tabernacle, I guess how you pronounce his name. Last year, September. How you pronounce his name?
Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
He paid for it. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You remember that? Last year, September, the little black boy at Delta State University in Mississippi. How in the hell
Yes,
did he climb up on a tree and go down the limb and just happen to, what did he do? Crawl down the damn rope and hung himself?
that's what she said. Said he
That's
committed
what she said.
suicide
Exactly.
his senior
She,
year.
yes, September last year. So it really don't make sense. But growing up in Mississippi, we were taught certain things we could do, certain things that we couldn't do, especially around whites, because when we went into a store, they would follow us like we steal it. We don't. Everybody don't steal. They steal more than I ass do. Tell you the truth, but we couldn't put our hands in our pockets. But I don't understand why is it that they have such a grudge against us, and I still want to know why. Is it the color of my skin? What is it? That young boy lost his life thinking that he had friends. They wasn't his friends in the beginning. That's how I feel about it.
And then can I
What's your
say
take, Miss Liz? What's your take, Miss Liz?
That young boy had an opportunity that those white boys didn't have.
And you know what?
Mhm.
I agree with you there, but I have been listening to some other white men's and females that's talking about this case, and a lot of them is apologizing to us for how they treated us through the years and they thought this about us. Have you all been listening to some of that, right? And they're
Mm-mm.
asking us to forgive them for, well, it's a couple of them. One of them is a police officer, right? And they're
Hmm.
all saying, every last one of them are white males and females saying that boy was killed by those white kids.
Yes.
Now, if you got white folks saying that that boy was killed by those white kids, we already know they was killed. But what they, I don't understand. Do they understand how it? I have never lost a child, and I don't want to. But one day, we ain't taking them more ass whooping.
Mm-mm. No,
We ain't gonna
ma'am.
do. You can get
No,
mad with
ma'am.
Crump and Al Sharpton, but this case has become so big. You got Obama involved in it, a hell of a lot of people, because we're tired. We first started with Emmett Till. Now we with this guy right here. When do this shit stop? When we start taking your kid's life and let you see how it feels, how we hurt? We ain't gonna take that bullshit no more. And they all started because of that motherfucker up there pissing in his shit, talking about if you hit him, I'll get you out.
Well, well.
I said, damn. Angel
And
got
you see
something she
them
want to
how
say.
who?
Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
say
Go ahead.
something real quick? I want to recap off of what Mom was saying about the boy and his friends. Like, if they were, like Mom was saying, if they didn't give a care about that boy, because if they did, they would have showed emotion once they got on that phone with that dispatcher lady.
Yep.
They would have showed so much emotion.
Mm-hmm.
If they really cared, they wouldn't be stuttering,
Mm-hmm.
looking and seeing
What?
what was going on in the
Absolutely.
back end.
Absolutely.
Where
Because
can you
they,
think about them? They were so calm. Did you notice that, Miss Liz?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
There
yeah.
was no
That's what
screaming and
Angel just
hollering.
pinpointed. That's a key point. Angel
yeah,
said, why weren't they emotional?
Too calm.
yeah,
They had no
Nobody was
emotion.
they didn't.
nobody was screaming and hollering. That boy
Nope,
was set up
nope.
from the beginning.
Oh, he
Because
was
if they
set
was
up.
they was his friend,
Absolutely.
And
if
he
they
was
were
set
his
up.
friends, if they were his friends, they would be showing emotional feelings if they really
Exactly.
cared about that boy.
That boat would have
Absolutely.
been screaming and hollering. The people's next door
Yes.
on the next boat, they all would have heard it. That shit
Y'all, we
was
got
set up.
460 people up in here, y'all. We
It
got at
was
least
set
get
up,
200
and
likes before we leave. Hit double
it
tap
doesn't
the screen.
it doesn't take boo boo the fool to see.
Nope.
You would have
On
called the Coast Guard, Miss Lynetta. You would have called for help. It was
Yeah.
all kind of people you could have called.
And then
But
not at that, Miss Liz, it's helicopters. The helicopters could have
Mm-hmm.
came right away.
Mm-hmm.
Once that
But
yeah,
don't
call
forget
was made,
now.
the helicopters could have been
Mm-hmm.
riding around to see what's going
There should have
on.
been helicopters there in the first
Exactly.
place.
Yes.
Okay, so don't forget they said other boats was in the surrounding areas, right?
correct.
So what was the screaming and hollering? There was none.
Hmm.
Nobody screaming and holler, but somebody took a picture, okay? But don't die, Nolan. Is he dead? We hear all of that. But nobody is screaming and hollering. He's dead. He's hell. I'm scared of dead bodies.
Thank you
First
for the
thing I'm gonna do.
jewels.
Okay.
Let me read this. Let me engage real quick, gang. Y'all have come to your own conclusions, right? Just like the other side. And this is the problem. I want you to answer this, Miss Liz. I speculate what is happening, but I'm not certain. Can you answer that? Or
I didn't say for certain. We're giving our opinions of what happens. That's the difference. Just like Nancy Grace is giving her opinions, and every other media outlet is giving their opinions of what they think could have or may have happened to him. But what I wanted to say,
hold on, Miss Liz. I'm gonna
okay.
drop the link. Someone said, "Can they jump in?" Absolutely.
Led by God Ministries. Yeah, you can absolutely hit.
Yes,
the link
you can jump in
and put your input in.
It is an open chat.
Because
I'm gonna drop the
this is
link.
messed up.
Feel free, y'all. State your opinions. Again, like Mom said, this is a very
serious
case.
It is.
Thank you guys for the jewels. I really do
the
appreciate
jewels,
it.
guys.
And let's get those likes up to at least
hateful
200 likes, y'all. Let's keep this video in the algorithm. And one thing I really like about this live that makes it very special is that my mother, that's my mother that's on the panel, and Miss Liz, that they grew up in Mississippi. So we getting actually a chance to feel the culture and see what my mother felt. Especially, I can understand, having to walk in the store, which you can't put your hands in your pocket. I mean, there's some places like that in Alabama to this day. You know what I'm saying? You walk inside the place, everybody turn around and stare at you like you're not supposed to be there. What they call it, sundown towns. You know what I'm saying? That still goes on.
Especially when you go into big stores like Walmart and stuff. Like back in the day, people will watch you.
Yeah.
Like even though you didn't steal anything, but you put in your hands. It could be cold outside, and you got on a light jacket.
Yeah.
You could be putting your hands in your jacket. They automatically gonna stare at you like you stole something.
Yeah. And that is what we go through as being a melanated culture, but we dealt with it so long that we don't even pay attention to it anymore. It doesn't even bother us anymore. So.
When we get to in certain stores, Miss Liz, I'm not sure if it happened to you, but it happened to us all the time, especially when we going into clothing stores. You will have a lady. Can I help you? Hell no, you can't help me. You follow me all around the store. And I was young and I was outspoken, and I would say, hey, if you want to help me, leave me alone. I'm not gonna steal anything. They would follow us until we go out the door. Do you remember that, Miss Liz?
Oh yeah.
They thought we were steal.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and continue to figure this out. We got 2 more bigger clips that we need to look at. So let's go ahead, gang. Thank you guys for coming. Please double tap. Let's at least get 200 likes up here. Keep this video in the algorithms.
Well, let me say one more thing before
having a good.
Miss Liz wanted to say something. Miss Liz, a day before yesterday, I heard this guy, a white guy. He was on. He had a T-shirt on, and I forgot the symbol on there, but it was
link right here. You can get on.
It was the symbol of the what you call it?
Hold on, Ma, for 1 second.
Mama.
Sorry,
we trying to tell somebody how to get on. Okay,
Oh.
Leah, you see 2 live streams going at the same time. Get off the vertical and go on to the other one, the other live.
Yes, it's a horizontal. Go in there where the screen is horizontal. That's where the link is.
You'll see the blue link in the chat. Go to the other one.
If you come out and go to my channel, it's going to be 2 of the same pictures. One is going to be vertical, straight up and down, and one is going to be horizontal, left to right. Pick the left to right, go inside of that live stream, and the link is in there, and hit that one, and I'll be able to let you up. And that goes for anybody that wants to come in. The link is in the chat. Now go ahead, Mom. I'm sorry for interrupting. And Miss Liz.
I don't forget what I had to say, but
what comes with age?
Please, I had a birthday Sunday, so give me a break.
Oh,
anyway,
happy birthday!
Thank you, Miss Liz. I've seen a lot in my 71 years, and I am so happy to be where I'm at today. But like I said, there's no way on this earth we're going back.
Oh no.
No
we're
way.
not going back.
But this guy, he had that. What's this stuff? They initiation, like the stars. What they say, the stars be. What's that they say when they show that sign?
Pledging.
No, like basically, like when you gotta kill somebody. What's
You
that they
talking about
call them?
sacrifice?
Yeah,
That's
that's what he said. He said,
Illuminati.
A
yeah, that's
ritual?
what he said.
Mhm.
He said this is nothing but the Illuminati. They had to sacrifice something. So, okay, if this young man had a wonderful football career, what kind of sacrifice did you all do? Did you all say y'all will unalive him so your kids can get a scholarship? It's all,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
I mean, it got
But
all
this
kind of
Mm.
twists and turns, but you notice that him and Carmelo Anthony both were good football players.
Athletes,
Were
elite
athletes.
exactly,
athletes. They were
exactly.
elite athletes.
There you go. There you go. And those young guys, if they was not, they was jealous of that guy and they wanted a piece of the action. And most guys figure, most of your friends feel like if you make it to the top, you're gonna go off and leave me. But they were not his friends in the beginning. He wanted them to be their friend. I couldn't look at him because watching him in the middle with his shorts on and his shades, he laughing and smiling, not knowing that's the last time, you know, that he was gonna be alive. Didn't know have no idea that those guys on that boat with him was gonna take his life that day.
Let's go,
Mm.
Mom.
And he has a very strong mom. I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
She's
father,
really-
because they
and
probably even
father.
haven't got a chance to really mourn because so much is going on,
No.
and that could be a distraction with all the. And like I said, a lot of us couldn't even understand or fathom what they are going through.
It's like once you lose a child, it's like you can't mourn at that time, but then afterwards it's gonna hit bad. It's gonna hit.
Especially with the
It's gonna
media
hit.
involved,
Yep.
the death threats, having to get up. It's crazy. So let's go.
The time. So it could be any number of ways he landed under the water. But my point is, that's why they took the lungs. Why? The throat.
Well, because the throat and the throat areas you're referring to it as, it's actually the organs of the neck. We're talking about the larynx, the pharynx, our windpipe, essentially, and everything else that's connected therein. That's the conveyance to get into the lungs. So one of the things that what they're looking at here, Nancy, to put it very bluntly, is they're looking.
Sorry, everybody. I seen somebody in the chat say, "Pay attention." Right? Let's look at this, y'all. And it hit right on time. And there is a video that I did that they're going to pay attention to the body language. We're going to play that right after this. We're going in. So it says, pay attention to the system, the symbols, and the body gestures. That's coming up next. So I'm glad that you brought that up. So y'all stick around because we got that going on after this. I'm probably not going to play this all the way through, but we're going to rock a show.
They're looking for any possibility that his breathing could have been compromised. Well, how is that compromised? Well, when you begin to think about, if you put your hand in the midline of your throat, right here, okay, you begin to think about the trachea, which is encompassed right here. Was it compromised in any way? Are there any focal areas of hemorrhage? Has it been crushed? You would go up into the neck. I suspect that the tongue was probably removed as well. You're going to look at the hyoid, which did not accompany the body, but all of this has been retained.
Wait a minute, who moved the tongue? We moving too fast, gang. So where did Miss Liz, Ma? What they talking about the tongue? Why they don't know where the tongue at, gang? Like what the hell? Where's his tongue?
Well, Ben Crump said when they received the body to do the private autopsy, a lot of the organs and stuff they didn't get. They didn't get the neck. They didn't get a lot of his organs.
I understand they didn't even get the stomach.
Right.
I said, damn.
So you had to go back and watch the press conference when he was. I don't know why he didn't hire an independent medical examiner to read those results, but that's another story for a different show.
Tracking right now. The chat, thank you guys. Y'all are on point. Please sub up to the channel. Let's get the likes up. Thank you guys. The chat is off the hook. And I thank the chat for being
the reason I don't know anything that much about the medical portion, but it appears that when he's talking about the lung and the throat, the reason why
Mm-hmm.
she kept it is because it's kind of associated with the back part of his neck, and it's gonna show what caused that damn bruise.
Mm-hmm. But you know where I think what kind of what I would have done. Do you
Mhm.
know when Martin Luther King was assassinated and they did his I'll send you that clip too, C-Dub. When
Okay,
they did his autopsy, they did his autopsy the same day he died.
that's another thing I want to know. Why is everything happening so slow? And Marla says, where's the removal of the stomach come from, gang?
They
Well, that's
examine everything when you did an autopsy. They take out
exactly.
everything.
Just want to get an overstanding.
Mm-hmm.
They
And I
should have
do.
had Ben Crump should have had somebody in there to watch the person in Mississippi give the autopsy.
Well, you
So
got to
you wouldn't
realize.
have no questions.
Well, you know what, Miss Lewis, probably when that happened, he hadn't came on board at that time.
And that's what I'm thinking. I don't think he had been retained at that time. But I have to
Exactly.
go back and look and see when the family retained him. So when the body was retrieved and when he was sent off for the autopsy, because the family has to agree to the autopsy.
Exactly. We can't do it without that. And Mississippi requires you have an autopsy for a car accident, and I think maybe a gun or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's automatically done, from what I understand, because my brother was killed in a car accident, and we didn't give them our consent. They did it anyway, right down there in Mississippi in 2013.
All
So,
right, let's go, gang. They begging to play the audio, gang. Let's go.
Nothing abnormal about the state retaining the organs of the neck. This happens very, very frequently in cases like this because they want to be able to go back and examine it. And also for the future, they either want to get a consult on it or it has evidentiary probative value here moving forward with any kind of case in the future.
Most people just... Now, we're not going to tarry on that too long. But, Miss Liz, I want to ask, and since we got this amount of people in here, when I first started, I didn't have that many people in here. So while we got this amount of people in here, I want everybody, and Miss Liz, since you're here, you wasn't up here, Lord forbid that I took that down. But let me go here. Bear with me, gang. I have here, I'm going to bring it up. I want to know if this seemed like a little trickery. A lot of y'all didn't see this in the beginning. But Miss Liz, there's something, since you're an attorney, I want to know if it's foul play and if they use somebody with good mouthpiece to try to trick us up out of our spot. And it's right here. The video's coming up right now. Now, chat, Band-Aid gang, I want y'all to pay attention to this. It could be me. You know, my mom say sometimes I overthink. She says, you overthink, son. And, you know, it could be a gift and a curse. So, with that being said, I had to slow down. Somebody in the chat said, you need to slow down, C-Dub. I said, okay, then. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay, gang. Hold on, gang. Let me get this up right here for y'all.
To get other information. Nolan's mother, for example, subpoenaed Meta, Snapchat, TikTok, Life 360, seeking his messages, photos, GPS data as she pushes for answers, anything they can to get other information.
Ms. Liz,
Good to see you.
Mom, chat, please put your comments on this. I spotted this. Something didn't feel right when I saw this. Okay. Mom, was you here when I did the commentary on this? We probably only had about 50 people when we started, and I played this first. But since we're all in here, and we got Miss Liz, which is an attorney, I just want to know, does this sound kind of weird, y'all?
No, it sounds genius.
No, I'm saying what this guy's going to say right here.
Oh, okay.
Listen to it. I want y'all to listen to this. Listen to this closely.
Watch this.
messages, photos, GPS data. She pushes for answers as to what happened to her son. What are they going to learn? I want to ask digital forensics analyst.
Now, he's a digital forensic analyst, Miss Liz. Chat, y'all heard what he is. Now, he's going to ask something. I don't understand how he answered it. It seemed like, I just want to check it out, y'all.
Morgan Wright to talk about this. Morgan, good to see you. I have a lot of questions. So first of all, if they get all these records, okay, assuming that the companies don't put up a legal fight, if they get everything they're looking for, scenario, what is that going to tell them about what happened to Nolan?
That's a good question, Jesse. The thing I would do is I would take all of that information, I would map it against the GPS we have from the boat, when it left, when it slowed down, when it sped back up, map that with the call, and then map all of the digital media and the time and date stamps and location to that. So you can kind of create like a kaleidoscope, you know, just a compendium of things.
Now pay attention to what he's saying. It's going to be the second question, but watch.
That show you the timeline. When were pictures taken? What kind of data is there? Was he seen on the island? Was he not? Was he seen on the boat? So, you know, we don't know what we know until they get this information, but I would start with the timeline. I would map the call against the GPS location and then map the social media when you get it to that.
Will they know if information has been deleted?
No, right here. Miss Liz, chat, I want y'all to track this. Watch what his reply is to after he asked this. Watch this.
From any of the apps from the phone, and when
it was a little bit.
If information has.
This is what he asks him.
The GPS location and then map the social media when you get it to that.
Will they know if information has been deleted from any of the apps from the phone and when it was deleted? Because if they can create a timeline, if he was no longer on the boat and he was on Horn Island, would they be able to know what was deleted and when it was deleted?
Yeah, there's a couple companies out there. One that a lot of people have heard about, Celebrite. They do do a lot of great work on digital forensics, you know, extraction. So yeah, if as long as it hasn't been tampered with or people haven't gotten in there looking around, that's part of the.
Right there is my problem, Band-Aid gang. There it is. Am I crazy? What do you mean if what people got a hold of it and did this and did that to it?
He said that one of the analysts that work with that type of equipment, like this young lady that can break it down, you can delete stuff out, and however, there's a thing called telephone company.
Mm-hmm.
You can always go back and pull it from the telephone company. Every text message you have.
Ma, hold on real quick. Ma, just listen to what put a 1 in the chat. If it just don't seem right what he's saying, because where do we go from there, Miss Liz? Listen to this. When he said, as long as it hasn't been tampered with, by who?
He's saying if the boys or the girls haven't gotten his phone and accessed it and deleted it, they can retrieve it. The tech companies can retrieve it. So the question.
Let's finish and listen what he say, because it still sounds like some trickery. Listen, maybe I'm overthinking. Just help me out.
So yeah, if as long as it hasn't been tampered with or people haven't gotten in there looking around, that's part of the problem, right? Anytime you go in there, you start changing the footprint of what that device was. You want it in the pristine state, but Cellbrite could still, an extraction like that could tell you what was there. And most of the time, depending on the operating system, who logged in and how, could tell you what was deleted, when it was deleted. That would give you some ideas if it was deleted. I'm not saying it was, but if it was, a Celebrite report could give you a lot of good facts.
There was news.
Okay, what do y'all think about that?
That's the same thing. No.
Overthinking. Say somebody said I'm overthinking. Okay.
You're overthinking. Because the company that they're hiring is going to do the same thing you can do when you call the telephone company. Even if they delete that information, Ben Crump them have the same. They can also go back to the telephone company and pull that boy's phone record and every text messages that came through. You can't delete that.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the body language.
However, all of those things have to be subpoenaed.
That part.
My question is this. Do you think, okay, because this is what do you think that Nolan Wells knew he was in some type of fear or danger? Did he sense it?
You know what? Back in the day, let me see how I could say this. Parents, and they say, I don't think he knew, but they say when death is on you, he, they say they are happy. You know what I mean? You ever heard that?
I've heard that before.
They say they be happy. It's the best thing in their life. I don't think he realized what was going to happen. I think he just thought he was just having a good time of his life. No, you know what? What another reason why I cannot really get into that with him is because watching one moment they say he was underwater. The Coast Guard said he could see his trumps from the water. Then another one said he was on the bench, on the land, like cuddled up. But can you imagine those guys fighting him? He was outnumbered. And only thing I could think of this child hollering, Mama or Daddy for the last time. That's what takes me away.
But I said that to say this. If you've been somewhere,
That's what he probably thinking in his head before he see that light. He thinking about his parents. At the end of the day, he thinking about his parents once he take his last breath.
Yeah, especially if they didn't have children. So we're gonna go to the body language on this next clip, Band-Aid Gang.
Miss Liz was asking a question. She wants
but
to
what
ask.
I'm saying is, but what I said that to say this, like they were drinking. He's an elite athlete. So of course, I mean, they were drinking. Allegedly they had drugs on the boat. That's not his thing. So why would you be hanging out with people that's doing that?
Well,
Or why would you feel comfortable?
well, they say he drank. One of his teachers said he wasn't a drinker. And then that little bottle he had in his hand, the little can, it looked more like an energy drink. But he didn't look like the type of person that would do drugs, though.
Nah, definitely not. All right, but let's go into this next clip, y'all. Let's go.
On July 4th.
Have anything to do with Nolan's death?
Of course not, and absolutely not.
That mother, I can't stand it.
And was probably a world-renowned body language expert weighing in on that interview you've probably already seen of the young man who claims that he's Nolan Wells' best friend and was with him on July 4th.
Have anything to do with Nolan's death?
Of course not, and absolutely not.
The only thing is that people would probably pick out is like he didn't say the word no, right? He says, of
Right.
course not. Okay, so when he's saying that, though, his head is already shaking his head no like a second before he actually answers it.
It's a fascinating interview you don't want to miss. Plus, an update on this fast-moving case at the end of this episode. But first, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share the episode. I'm Matt Johnson, and this is Justice.
Let's go.
All right, here to help break it all down, we have a very special guest. We have Susan Constantine, jury consultant, speaker, author, and body language expert. Thank you for being on the program as we dive into the Nolan Wells case.
I'm happy to be here, Matt. Let's talk about this case. There's lots of information here that we need to talk about today.
Yeah, so we have Warren Hudson, who is a friend of Nolan Wells, and they were on the boat together initially. And he recently did an interview with Brandon Tatum from the Officer Tatum show. So I want to play some clips from that, and I'm going to get straight to it because one of the main questions that he's asked is, did you have anything to do with the death of this young man?
Have anything to do with Nolan's death?
Of course not, and absolutely not. Okay, it's a short clip. Obviously, this is part of a much larger interview. If people want to check it out, they can watch it on the Officer Tatum show. But anything stick out to you from this clip?
Okay, so I want to run this by us. I want you to look at his body language before he was asked the question.
Hold on,
While he was
just because it stood out to me. But she put no. I guess you mean you see the clip where Nolan was breaking up a fight. Did you see that one? Did anybody see that one where Nolan was breaking up a fight? Miss Liz? Chat, put a 1 in the chat.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, let's put a 1 in the chat if you've seen a clip where Nolan was breaking up a fight. So let's continue.
Asking the question and while he was responding to the question. So this is where we talk about the 7-second scan, right? There is no difference from the minute before the question was asked, during the question, or after the question. It remained the same. So that is what we call that's his norm, right? So when I'm looking for is any sort of deviation from that, the only thing is that people would probably pick out is like, he didn't say the word no, right? He says, of course not. Okay, so when he's saying that, though, his head is already shaking his head no, like a second before he actually answers it. What I'd be looking for, if it was deceptive, it would happen afterwards. He would say, of course not. See, he doesn't. He says, of course not. It happens before. It's because he already knows the truth. So in this particular clip right here, there's no deceptive indication. And I want you to demystify the fact that he says, of course not. And you'll see that in other clips, he says that's his answer to no, right? So that is what his baseline is. So this is really important because when a person deviates, they may switch it up.
Right.
They'll say, of course, no, but then let's see how they answer all the other questions. So let's take a look at the other ones.
Yeah, so here he's asked the pointed question whether or not
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech skills, just Riverside.
So what is she saying? What is she saying?
he killed the young man.
Did you kill Nolan? Of course not.
Of course. And again, of course not. That is his norm. That's how he answers the question because he finds it's like, of course I wouldn't. That's preposterous. That's unbelievable. I can't believe you asked that question. So we have to, when we're looking at deception, we're looking at verbal dictionary, how they use their words. When you look at just that phrase, it's not enough to decide deception. It's not a cluster. So what would be a cluster would be someone that maybe had leaned forward, leaned back, then maybe he would have sniffed and then he would have shrugged his shoulders. Okay. That didn't happen. There was no difference in his body language. It was just, if you look at his body language before, during, and after, there was still no deception indicated.
So here's another clip from that same interview where he's asked about the phone, and the phone has really, this is Nolan Wells' phone, right? So it was allegedly left on the boat, and because in this interview, Warren says, everyone kind of leaves their phones on the boat because the water is gross, murky. You grab it, you take pictures on the boat, you may leave it behind. Mm-hmm. Then there's been questions as to whether or not the phone has been tampered with. Because remember, again, there's a lot of people that question the story. There's a lot of people that are still investigating this case. So there's questions about if he even got on the boat, if the phone was taken, and what happened to the phone. He's asked about the phone, and let me play that for you.
They say that you guys deleted stuff out of his phone. Did you delete anything out of Nolan's phone? No, of course not.
Okay, so that is a problem for me, okay? When he says, of course not, that was normally his response, okay? And then you see the sniff, his head tilted to the side. So that to me is going to give me, that's what I call a red flag, right? Those are hot spots. Why? Because I'm seeing more than 2 indicators that are questionable to me. So I'm going to want to probe more. I don't know yet, but I'm going to probe more precisely. But when we see that, that's telling me there is something there. I just don't know what it is yet because there's no follow-up question there to ask a deeper probe. So what we're looking for is when there's a probe, or that's what we call a stimulus, right? what is a stimulus? That was a pretty high probe. That was a high stake question. Okay. And then what I'm looking for are at least 3 indicators in 2 of the channels, which is your body and face, psychophysiology, like sniffing, gulping, swallowing, licking the lips, etc. And we do see some of those indicators. So what I'm saying to you, there are some indicators of a deceptive indicator.
You got gang in the chat. Bridget, thank you for Bridget says, y'all, I haven't got a chance to track it yet, but hopefully the gang and Bridget said that pay attention to his watch. It's recording. Can you give us a little more intel about you capturing the watch, Bridget? Keep everybody on point. I'm interested in what you're talking about. I haven't seen the watch yet. I'll probably go back to the clip. Double tap the screen, hit the like button.
And there is a possible cluster there. So that would tell me as an investigator, and this gentleman is not a real investigator, right? So that's the area I'm going to start to probe and ask more inquiring questions to whittle it down to be more precise. So that was a pretty punchy question, and he was probably prepared for it too. And also the sniff can be like an end of a pointed question, like, of course, like this. It's like a period at the end of the sentence, right? And also a swallow can be fear, but it also can be he knows the weight of that question, which also causes fear. See how you can see where they can have more than one message. So that's an area I'm going to want to explore.
Yeah, and as we're talking about this case, usually you and I are talking about trial testimony where the camera is on the person the entire time and you have more of the context. I mean, I'm not saying there were parts that were edited out of this interview, but the camera does shift from time to time. And then I can tell by just watching it that there are other people in the room because the host is like making reference to somebody at some point. So there are other things going on. And I just thought, when I was talking with you, we were both saying that this would be an interesting interview to take a look at. But, we have no horse in the race. I know that a lot of people may see things differently, but it's just really interesting given the fact of all your training and what we can see from these clips.
Yeah, and what I do is I look at things objectively. It has absolutely no subjective analysis, period, end of story. In fact, to me, that is utter nonsense and it's pseudoscience. It's improper, it's unethical, and you never take 1 or 2 cues and go, oh, that person is lying. And there's nothing else, because the reason being, Matt, and you and I, we've had dinner, we've talked about this before. There are only specific indicators that are proven to be deceptive. Just because somebody moves or shifts or they lick their lips, unless it's a sign associated with a cluster of other proven indicators of deception, then it's not considered, you can't consider it. So in a lot of my training, and this is what I teach, and in fact, that I just trained a group of judges. In fact, yesterday I got another call to train another group of judges because they want to be able to read people properly. And I spent most of the time debunking myths. Okay, so I'm trying to get people on a level ground, how to read people accurately, and they're going to be able to do it through this book. I mean, once they get the book, they're going to know how to do it, and they're going to say, you know what, that made perfect sense to me. So you're right, there is no skin in the game. It doesn't matter. We're looking at this as an objective data, and if you just look at it as data, then you don't have a subjective opinion. There's no emotion attached to it.
Yeah, and now we're going to get back to the story, and the real main crux of it all is what is the true timeline? Is everyone actually telling the truth? So he's asked about the last time that he saw Nolan, and he says that it was around 3 o'clock. So here's the answer to that.
The time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock, and Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. I was like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us. unless they demanded to, you know.
Okay, so what do you make of that statement and that initial timeline? So he's laying the groundwork. Last time I saw him was 3 p.m.
Yeah, well, first of all, three is the number one lying number. I don't know. We've talked about that before too. So just be careful when they say 3 o'clock, 3:30, 3 people, 3 drinks. And, you know, just that doesn't mean it always is, but we have found in research oftentimes if they can't pinpoint, the evidence doesn't prove it was actually 3 o'clock. Just be careful, and your antler should go up when they say 3 o'clock. Why did he say 3 o'clock? We don't know yet. Is he trying to fit it to the story if he was being deceptive? Or maybe it was actually 3 o'clock. So the other thing is what word was really interesting means he used the word demanded. So when you think of demanded, that is like a very forceful word. No one demanded. Instead of saying no one asked him, it would have been much more believable than to say, no one demanded. So what he's doing is he's actually heightening it to being more of a command. So the question is, why does he feel the need to use the word demanded? Now he's not saying that he demanded. He's saying no one demanded. So somewhere in maybe all of this investigation, somewhere he felt that he needed to inject this word. No one demanded it. It was like free will, right? You had the choice getting on and getting off. But why he chose that word, I'm going to explore a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I'm going to play another part a little bit further in this same line of questioning. He kind of explains more about his timeline as to what happened and really trying to get, as he says, Nolan on the boat.
EVE Online is a vast...
A lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but.
Now that's a lie. That's a stone cold lie right there. See that stuff right there? Huh?
How you know it's a lie?
Because they got the call. They say the boat was sinking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They say the boat was sinking. He's going to stay right there. That's his transportation to getting back. How did he plan on getting back to where he needed to go? It doesn't make sense that he would stay somewhere, and that's the party that he came with. They never said they were coming back. They said the boat was sinking. So I'm going to get on that boat. You just going to stay with a female? Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be real. That right there, that was sketchy right there, because why are you going to say, no, I'm going to stay right here? That don't even seem like his character. When you come with that party, what? You leave with that party. But with all of that being said, he wanted to stay, right? But we just got a phone call that we just heard with people saying, is he unalive? He's gone.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So when right there, we got a little gap of time where something has went wrong. We got two different stories.
So he's saying Nolan stayed. He's saying Nolan stayed.
I'm sorry?
Is he saying that Nolan stayed on the island?
He's saying that, they're saying that Nolan wanted to stay on the island, and he stayed with a female on the island.
So Nolan didn't get back on the bus. He's on the boat. He stayed.
That's what they're saying. They're saying they left him there.
Okay. So if the boat was sinking and they was having problems, that's what he just said, right? So how in the hell Nolan get back on the boat and then you all hollering, is he dead? And then you call.
That part. That's why I say there's a glitch in the matrix right there.
That don't make sense.
They tried to put us in the gangster matrix. They tried to, So now we stuck in right there. There's the glitch. Okay, so let's continue.
It's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And
then why are they talking to him like that? Think about it. Why did all of a sudden they talking to him like that?
Like
I said,
what?
damn.
He's such Officer Tatum is such a he's such a
Come on the
freaking.
boat now. You're leaving. You better come on the boat now.
Nolan made a decision to stay out.
So when he speaks like that, and I'm not this lady. No, I'm definitely not her, right? But what I'm catching, Band-Aid Gang, is a little bit of anger in his voice. Like the way he's talking, right now, he's showing emotion right now against Nolan. I'm seeing emotion. I'm seeing, we told him, get on the boat right now. Get on the boat right now. That's what I'm seeing right now. I put a one in the chat if y'all see that. I'm seeing emotion. Like, we told him, hey, come on, if you're going to go, come on, get on the boat right now. Nolan's gone. Somewhere they were mad at Nolan. And I'm just seeing that out of that. Now, let me see if y'all see it.
One time, my buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island.
Who is, now we cooking. Now let's cook. Now my ball is rolling, y'all. Like somebody said in the chat, aggressive. So this is what it is, right? Let me show you what we popped them at. Where we popped them at is right about here. Watch this. Watch me cook.
My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're
Well, how did you pop him, Band-Aid Gang? Your buddy? Your buddy who? Why are you not saying the buddy's name, gang? What's Buddy's name? Who is Buddy? Somewhere a fight broke out with Buddy, allegedly. What happened to Buddy? Who is Buddy? Why don't you say Mark told him? Why are you guys hiding names? Steve told him we need to get on the bus. We need to get on, come on, get on the boat. Anthony said, get on the boat. Anthony argued with him, my buddy. Your buddy? I thought y'all all was friends, Band-Aid Gang. Thank you. Yolanda said, I said the same thing. Who is Buddy? We need to know that. Your buddy? I thought Nolan was your buddy, too. So where's Buddy? Why? Right there is where they jack they Mac at.
Been brought in for and questioning. Their phones and stuff would have been subpoenaed and
that part. We got a victim.
Oh, it would have been a different time.
Exactly. Oh, we cooking tonight, y'all. We didn't knock the rubber out the elastic in their drawers. We trying to do this live stream Band-Aid Gang chat in a good order, so we don't miss a beat. We try not to miss anything. But
I got a question, C-Dub.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, these young men are being accused of unaliving this young man. Why would they get on Officer Tatum's podcast? Why wouldn't they go to Fox News, CNN, Today's Show? Why wouldn't they be interviewed by a reputable journalist? Why would they go to Officer Tatum?
I think they went to Officer Tatum because he's melanated, throw the narrative off a little bit, change black people's mind, make it look a little bit different. I just believe that Tatum was paid because Tatum know good goddamn well that he heard that recording and he heard everything that those kids were saying and came up and said something else was broke. It's something else dead. Something on the boat is dead. Come on,
Yeah.
Tatum. You heard that shit. Everybody heard it. The caption spoke it out for us, gang. That clearly jacked his Mac again. When the caption comes out, just like y'all seeing right now in this video, sometimes caption comes out and when you pronounce a word, it spells it wrong. did it wrong. But every word that we watched on the caption and we just heard Nancy Grace say, that came from the professionals.
Where this guy Tatum? Where is he from? Tatum.
We don't
Mississippi. Oh,
No, he's not from Mississippi. He's a failed football player. He tried to get in the NFL. He couldn't make the team. And
he didn't make this right either. He can't make shit. We're calling him can't get right.
then he got on the police force. So you could just imagine what he did on the police force.
Oh man, he was taking all them dope boys' money. He was patting them down, taking their money. He was taking deals. He looked like he'd take a deal. He got that look.
Where was he in the police at? You know?
We don't know, Mom.
What state?
I want to say Arizona, Miss Lynetta. I want to say Arizona. And then,
Thank you,
now he's a influencer, podcaster. He's into MAGA. He's MAGA.
I said, damn, there it is.
I was.
There it
You
is.
took me where I needed to go because in order for that white guy and whoever, the family, to get in touch with this guy, it was like you said. If we bring him on, they paid him. You already know that.
Oh yeah, they paid him.
Exactly, to make us feel and bag back and saying, well, it has to be true because this black guy just interviewed him and he got to be telling him the truth.
They
But
said
it's always
somebody from Fort Worth.
okay.
From Texas.
It's always us.
So he's another Charleston White.
That part.
Shit.
Ma, you ain't.
Shit.
You from the fort.
He's the male version of Candace Owens.
Okay, I got you. So he flip flop.
You know, if he's from Fort Worth, he crooked in the mud. Texas ain't no up in that DFW ain't no different than Memphis. I said.
So if he if he's like Candy Owens, so when it's good for him and it's working for him, he's on their side. So when they throw him like the wrong fish, he gonna come back over here on the black folks side.
Oh yeah.
And he gonna start telling it all, right?
Oh yeah. Even when they tried to, he did it wasn't a debate. He said he doesn't like black people. He only likes black conservatives, and this is Officer Tatum. He's very left.
So what color is it?
I think he's white, trapped in a black person's body.
Does he sure look black to me?
Is he trapped? Goddamn.
Yeah, he's trapped.
He look black to me.
They ain't finna trap us tonight. Let's rock and roll, y'all.
Coming, you got to come down. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island.
Yeah, first of all, remember that word demanded popped up, and then he said yelled.
Demanded.
Right? Yelled is when you are giving a command, right?
Aggressiveness. We just spotted that, gang. Let's go.
And then he comes back and he says, he tries to present it in a little bit different way, like nobody was panicking. Well, yes, they were, because you used the word demanded before, then you use the word yelled. That tells me there's some sort of heightened emotion.
We just said that, gang.
So it is my professional opinion that someone or whoever did yell and demanded him to get on the boat, like, get on this boat.
We just said that, gang. We tracking.
Now, the boat is sinking. But for whatever reason, he felt like he wanted to inject the fact that nobody was panicking. So why he felt that there was a need to qualify that is interesting to explore, because he said he yelled at him multiple times. He's trying to make a point. If it wasn't just one time, it wasn't two times, but we didn't demand him to come on it. He had his own free will, and we asked him over and over and over again. And I'm certain that there was some sort.
That's because someone was angry with him. Someone was angry with him. You could tell from the emotion that he was using, and this lady captured the same thing that we captured. There was an argument. There was a fight. There was some kind of misunderstanding between Nolan and maybe Buddy.
How about that girl?
Could have been about a girl. It was Bart. Now, let's say it was Bart. Somebody say yes. So we spotted the lady, people go to school for this. And they know body language signs and they study this. So they're not going to say they're point on every time. They're going to continue to watch you. They're going to make sure that before they judge you, that it's people that go to school for this. I didn't go to school for it. But I tell you what, I watched this video for the first time. When I saw the analysis, I said, I'm going to bring this to the forefront. So I'm watching this in real time, just like everybody else. I never watched it before, but we captured that game. They were angry. Somewhere they were angry at Nolan. Someone was angry at Nolan. And that's what I'm seeing. Let's see what she says.
Sort of frustration that happened of the annoyance because he did not do it. So I mean, did not jump on the boat when he was supposed to. So you could see his foot kind of jiggle a little bit. So that's kind of showing you like cognitive load, a little anxiety, a little irritation. So I'm kind of watching that. And also his fluency of the story is a little bit jagged, right? Mm-hmm. So real stories, just so you know, are true stories are jagged. So oftentimes it will kind of go back up, go forward, and go up to the side. What we're looking for in deceptive language or deceptive behavior is when it's super linear. I mean, this happened, then that happened, and the next after that, and then after that, and then after that, and then after that. So they're literally kind of pulling you, right, along with a rope, like, and every step of the way. That's a deceptive indicator. But you're not really seeing that here. But I do think he's trying to cover up the fact that there was some agitation, there was frustration, there was yelling, get on the boat.
There it is, gang. There it is, y'all.
There was a panic. I don't believe the other part of it, but I don't know why he felt the need to have to over-explain or diminish the fact that there was no panic. So I'm not into his head. And again, these are questions to follow up with. And like you said earlier, Matt, is, we didn't see the whole interview, right? We didn't see the whole interview. So with that being said, we are looking at, when I'm looking at it, you can't just take a clip and go, oh, unless that's really obvious. Okay. And I've done that pretty quick. You've got to find a baseline. And I did look up at the interview, by the way, so that I could have a baseline to be able to tell you and share with your viewers what I saw.
Now, this is how we track. Now, let me show you how I track it. Element, 420. You must have been smoking that weed, right? Because you got 420 on your stuff and you was in there typing too fast because you got fingertips, right? Before you come over here, now you got an option. You can get smart if you want to. But don't ever come disrespecting my chat with the dumbest stuff that you just said right here, gang. And it's documented right here. I'll screenshot what you just said. It don't make no sense, dummy.
How the fuck he know? Was he there?
But this is the thing. But listen how he done himself all type of ways. Came over here.
Elements.
He said, listen, y'all, there. What you are not proving anything about Nolan. Nolan was drunk, acting like a moron. You don't even know what he was acting like. Look, and then he said, this is where he messed up, gang. And he got himself killed. So that means somebody unalived him. Boy, I didn't just knock the rubber off. You tried to defend, but you messed up. Because you said he got himself unalived. Now look where he messed up, gang. Came over here on that PCP. He wasn't smoking weed. Your new name is Element PCP, gang. See, that's when people don't be thinking, right? They just want to, I ain't gonna say racist, they just want to type because they got fingertips, gang. Bruh said he was acting like a moron, and I don't even see what the conversation was. The boy didn't even say he was acting like a moron. He said he was just gonna stay right there, and they demanded him. But Element PCP said he was acting like a moron, and that's what got himself unalived. Now look at the word he said, killed. That means somebody done did it to him. You would have went to court and messed that whole trial up, gang. So
This
don't
guy
come
that
here with them don't try to keep typing, bro, and clean it up. Now I'm
is
gonna
this
leave you
guy
there as long
still,
as you don't say the word blacks and all that type of stuff.
is
And we'll
this guy
shoot you to
still,
the moon.
is this guy still trying to say that Nola did not get on the boat?
Say it
Hello?
again, I'm still distracted
Is
on
he saying,
PCP.
is he still trying to say that Nolan didn't get on the boat?
That's what they saying. They said that. They said if
So in other
Nolan
words,
wants.
wait. In other words, they
Yes,
saying
ma'am.
that they went off and left him on the island.
That part, yes, ma'am.
Well, how in the fuck they get the body on the boat and they hollering, is he dead?
Right. There you go.
That don't make. Oh shit! I know a little something working in CID. I ain't that stupid. Shit, I wasn't born yesterday.
I know that's real.
All you gotta do is sit back and just listen. And you know
That's
what,
why they try to sabotage my channel.
Miss Liz, when he first came on, the first question, if you go back and watch his breathing pattern. You can see his stomach pushed out, right? He breathed. He was getting his lies together. He had to get in a comfortable position. And yeah, exactly. And most of the time, he should have led the conversation. When the man asked him, he should have kept on flowing.
Well, they told on themselves, Miss Lanetta, when they lawyered up. What you lawyering up for if you didn't have nothing to do with it? I didn't have anything to do with it.
I know that's
exactly.
real.
The man should have brought he would have asked a question, and that boy should have told the story. The man didn't have to ask no more. So that boy is lying. They got that shit together.
Look what Big let me say. She said, "I'm gonna stay on the island without his phone." Right.
Right.
They
say
get
what?
lawyers. This is what she said. I'm gonna stay on the island without his phone. Okay.
Who said that?
But this is what she's saying. But she's meaning Nolan said, "I'm gonna stay on the island without my phone." Right. Okay. I think that's what she said. But look, they get lawyers, right? Didn't go to the funeral gang. They ain't go to gang funeral, bro. But when the audio came out, now you want to give an interview.
Mm-hmm.
They keyword, why they ain't go to gang funeral, bro?
Because they know that he gonna hunt the hell out of him. That's for real.
Security risk.
Everything's out in the open. I wouldn't even care, gang. I'm just security. I'm going for my friend's funeral. I ain't do nothing.
Well,
if everything was done correct in the beginning, we wouldn't be here now, gang.
Well, some of the people probably would have shown him. He was probably right. He would feel comfortable being there, and
yes,
he would have. I wouldn't have gone and stuff. Those boys been coached by their parents.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And especially that lawyer.
That part.
And the thing of it is, the father's supposed to be suing everybody that's talking about the case. But we have a freedom of speech.
Wait a minute, gang. Hold on. Not you, Ma. I'm talking about this person. Now, this is another one, but he ain't as bad as Element PCP. This man said, Miss Liz, why didn't the kids you're lying about go to the funeral?
What
y'all literally, he said, y'all who ain't threatened no man life, y'all literally threatened their lives and produced fake AI bodies.
That motherfucker just talking shit and swallowing spit, whatever you say.
Totally because he got lips and a tongue.
That's it.
Well, had they cooperated with the parents and given the phone and answered simple questions, they couldn't even answer simple questions like what happened to my son.
That sure
in that order.
Like, what happened to my son? Oh, never mind. Talk to my lawyer.
It was more than one side.
Element 420. Guess what I'm gonna do for you? I ain't gonna call you Element PCP because you kept it a bean. You didn't cuss me out. I didn't have to put you out. I'm just dragging and gagging, gang. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. No beef, no nothing. I gotta put my little humor in it. But yeah, when you said that, yeah, it was funny. Hope you sub up, gang.
Miss
So,
Liz,
Mom, I'm sorry.
they said, Miss Liz, that there was a fight on the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say there was a fight on the boat. But he wasn't fighting one person.
No.
He was fighting more than one in order to get a bruise from the behind his neck.
Let's continue.
That's based on what I already knew in the baseline. So when it was off, then I know where the deviation is. And that's where it's interesting how to detect deception.
Yeah, and it's all to do with the timeline and, what in fact is the true timeline, because he says that he didn't see him. He saw him last around 3:00. We're going to get to the phone call to Cito that takes place at 4. And maybe some of the chaos is they've already realized there's problems with the boat. Maybe it is, in fact, someone got into a fight, like some people are saying, and they all want to leave. But actually, let me play part of that dispatch call and get your take on this. And again, this is just part of the dispatch call.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please tell me we have a membership? Yeah.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes. There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody here is over the age of 21.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right.
And also, for the viewer, there was a lot of dead air in this Q&A with this lady that was trying to help them. So it is also edited. You can listen to it online, the full thing. But that's the gist that stood out to me that I wanted to get your take on.
There is a sense of urgency, but not in a form of high panic. It's not to that level. So this is like, we're concerned. His voice is a little bit more tense. You can sense the tenseness in his voice. And what I would like to do, and I think this would be really great for this 911 call, is run it through voice stress analysis. And with voice stress analysis will be able to tell you exactly the markers of where that person is deviating. The other thing is he uses the word 31 feet, right? It starts at 17.
Another 3.
To the 31. So it's really interesting about how the mind works, and just kind of give you a little background on it, because there's a lot of research that was done in this, and Dr. James Pennebaker did this research, and they found that oftentimes people that are being deceptive, or they're trying to, fluff over certain timelines or whatever, they default to 3. They found that often with police statements over and over and over again, that number 3 pops up every time. So that is a big question for me. Every time I see 3, I go, why did he say 31? Well, he first started at 17 to 31. So did he have I've been on a fishing boat many times, love to fish, and we do have those fish finders, and you wouldn't believe that, would you, Matt, that I was a fisher? I'm a fisherwoman. But anyway, 31 feet. How did they know that? Did they have the apparatus or the machine that was on their boat to be able to say, where they were and how deep they were? So these are all these questions. So, but to kind of crystallize everything, the number 3 is going to be
Element 40, Element 420. You're going to make me give you back that same name again. You said, gang, Element 420, I think Element 420 over here doing this stuff. He doing himself all type of ways. Read what this man just said, gang. Element 420 said he was drunk, being belligerent, right? Then he said, wouldn't leave, and drunkenly tried to swim back in 31 feet of water. Nolan tried to swim back without the girl. You can't do that over on this channel, gang. You can't come over here like that, Element. You can't come over here. Everybody got clothes on. You come over here with your drawers on, gang. Just with your drawers on. I'm gonna just go over there with them and just try to just type and say that man was on. It was 31 foot of water. He stayed on the island with the girl, and he got drunk and tried to swim by himself and left the girl on the island. I said, damn. Stop it.
No matter if it was strong-winded tides, he not about to leave the island and just go. You feel me?
Yeah.
He not finna just go do that.
Big Alma, did you hear this, gang? He said that the man was...
So they did. Let's just say they did leave him over there. If the boat was sinking and had malfunctions, how in the hell was he gonna get back? Who was gonna go get him? He didn't have a cell phone.
There you go.
He didn't have a cell phone, so how the hell were you gonna know where he was at?
Exactly.
And it could be no service out where they was at too. The service could have been messed up. Anything. They can only dial an emergency number. That's the only way.
I don't think he was drunk.
I'm stranded.
I don't think the young man was drunk, period. I think they're using that as an excuse to make it seem as though he was under influence and he just decided, I'm not gonna do. You know how they act when they drinking, right?
Yes.
But we was trying to save him, but he wouldn't allow us to do that. So it's not our fault. It's his fault. But what he still failed to realize is you left him on the island. You called the Coast Guard. You told him the boat was sinking, but you were so calm with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the Coast Guard never did come, right?
No, the Cajun Navy came.
Okay. Afterwards, after Nolan was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he still can't tell us how the hell Nolan flew from the islands when they left him and jumped on the boat and died.
No, they still can't account how he was found in the water after they left him on the island.
Okay, where they kill him at, on the boat?
No, they're not saying.
The boy that was talking to the dispatcher said the boat is sinking.
Yeah, that part.
So you could have handled Nolan at that. You could have pulled him out the water. Y'all survived. Why he didn't survive?
Right. When was he drowning though? That's what I'm saying.
If y'all seen him drowning underwater, y'all automatically should have grabbed his hand and pulled him back up if the boat was sinking.
They capping.
But them supposed to be his friends though. A real friend would have saved his friend.
Didn't go to the funeral.
God dog it.
The lady just sat back and compared the guy on the phone's level of his level of distress compared to the guy that was just getting interviewed. And the guy that was on the boat did not seem like he was as stressed out as the guy that's after the unaliving sitting getting the interview. The guy that was sitting getting the interview seemed more mad than the guy that was when Nolan was there in real time.
Is this the same guy that did that interview talking about how long he knew Nolan?
No.
Okay.
Y'all understand what I'm saying, gang? The guy in real time did not sound as mad as the guy, as emotional as the guy that got interviewed after Nolan went up to the upper room. And that's what this lady just did. So you got to be mindful that that was a good strategy, a good analysis to see, okay, he's not even as angry as the guy that was when it was happening in real time. So that's a red flag.
Even the dispatcher knew. You could tell from her voice.
Right, exactly.
Because how he was stuttering on the phone.
Yep.
Looking around. I can imagine it right now. Looking around on the boat because he's panicking at this time. He don't know how to talk to the lady. Because he's so confused. He don't know what's going on. Everything is happening fast. And she's like, no, I'm asking you for the membership number and all of that. He's stuttering at his words.
Yep.
Like, it don't make no sense.
At all.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out where I'm still trying to place where the body was found. What did on the island or on the boat?
I think they found him in the water.
In the water.
Okay.
In the water.
Okay.
And his tongue was pulled out. How is that? Whatever that man said earlier.
Somebody said, Big Yummy said, I think they jumped him on the boat, but didn't realize they unalived him. Now, that one was what I was, and they panicked.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
It could have been it could have been a, now here's the thing. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you guys something real quick, and I'm going to go to the next clip. It is plenty more. What we're going to do tomorrow is recap the end of this, right, with the rest of the content that I got. So y'all need to come on in. Because y'all know I'm gonna come with that shit, gang. I'm coming with it. So y'all tap in tomorrow. I'm going on about the same time. So just make sure you pay attention to my community post and sub up. So I'm gonna show you how much I be tracking, right? Now what Big Yummy said, she said, now this is a key point. Now I've seen this earlier, right? But I didn't say nothing about it. Okay? I want to show you this right here. It was a scene, right? When they showed, okay, who was that? Nancy Grace. Okay, so now the Nancy Grace clip, I want y'all to look at this. And in real time. Let me go here and bring this clip up. Now, what she said is exactly what I thought. It could have been an accident, cover up. It was a fight, and he fell the wrong way. And how could he have failed, C-Dub? I saw this right here. Show y'all what I saw. Right here. On the boat, I saw a clip of Nolan. Right, I'm getting it up. I'm about to bring it up. Bring the clip up. I want you to see this. Then I'm gonna go. We gonna finish that off, but I want y'all to see this, which goes to what she said. Okay. About to bring it up. Okay, here it is. Let me go down the timeline.
Endless.
And find exactly what I'm looking for. Right there. There it is. Right in here. You clearly see this right here, gang. I thought for a minute. Could be just me. You know, I overthink. That's what y'all all say, right? C-Dub be overthinking. So when she said that, I saw this. Hold on. It's about to come. Skip that. Skip the clip.
Lemonade is changing insurance, starting with your.
Now,
having
right
a good
here.
time. So, July the 4th.
Now I want y'all to look at that right there. I want everybody to look at that before we close out, because I'm getting ready to close this live out. And I do got more to recap. I got some more. You know, I keep something up my sleeve. I keep a pocket full of Band-Aids, right? So look, gang, when I look at him standing like this, right, Miss Liz? Now imagine if he turned his body towards the water, right? And he slipped. The back of his head would hit the back thing that he's standing on, right? he slipped off
I
that
would
thing,
say
a
the
fight
back of
happened.
his head.
It could have been there.
I would
The
say
back of his
if
head
he,
could have hit that.
I would say if he slipped, his back of his head would hit that blade on that boat.
Well, we don't see a blade here. We just see a step down. We don't see the motor. We don't see that. But if
I
he
don't
was
see the
turned the
step
other
down.
way towards the people in the water, he could have slipped and bust his head on the back of what his feet are standing on. I'm just saying. That's what the back wound, but this is just, that's just Negro here or there. I'm just saying. When I saw that stuff, I said somebody could slip. If you could just accidentally slip. Right
Okay,
there
if
and
he
bust
did,
your damn head.
okay, Danielle, listen. I would rule that out because that would have been the first lie they would have told. He slipped and fell.
Well, you're absolutely right, Ma. I'm just saying a fight could have happened and slipped, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But whatever it was a fight, and it ended up fatal by accident, and it was a cover up because they all was scared.
And I believe that.
And they thought it was gonna be easy, but they dug deeper and deeper and deeper, and the more and more they held back, the more and more things became revealed because they tried to hide it from the Most High. And
well, what happened with these 20 to 25 person that's supposed to be telling it all if they don't tell it?
Well, let's go to this clip. I'm gonna end it with this then. I'm gonna end it with this one and to keep the rest up my sleeve, gang. We gotta keep it. Gotta keep it a bean. So let me go ahead and drop this right here. I'm gonna keep this right here. Because there's more intel. So let's get right here. It's just me and you up here, Mama.
I don't know. Where Miss Liz gone?
I don't know. She might have had a hot day.
She ain't snoring yet.
She gone.
Oh, okay.
She might have a little hot day. I said, damn. All right,
At
gang,
2 o'clock in the morning?
That's when the freaks come out.
Looking into the death of Nolan Wells have some new leads to work with. Michael Babcock joins us live from the TMZ newsroom to explain here. And Michael, first, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. This is really interesting. There is some speculation, maybe a conspiracy theory, that the mysterious death of Nolan Wells could be linked to a love triangle. Is that possible?
Well, if you listen to the online rumors, it is. But the guy who is, would be the second man next to Nolan Wells in this love triangle. There was then a female whose name has been sort of, bandied about online. He says this is not true. There is nothing here, and this is a completely made-up, fabricated story that he says has really endangered himself. So his name is Bart Edmondson, and he was friends with Nolan Wells. He was there on July 4th partying with everybody, but he says that he was not in any love triangle and that he had nothing to do with Nolan Wells' death. And to that end, he says, the friend does, Bart, that he has cooperated without, without an attorney present, without being...
He's cooperating without an attorney. Oh, man, it's going down. Oh, man, gang, it's going down. He said he had 20 suspects. It wasn't even that many people on the boat. Damn it, Bart. Everything's out in the open, and there's nothing left to hide.
Being, made to by a warrant, that he has cooperated with police, that he has been interviewed. He has given them everything that they wanted, access to his phone, photographs, location, communications, everything that they could possibly want as part of an investigation. He says that he has given to them. And his point is here that this is all online speculation. I had nothing to do with Nolan Wells' death. I wasn't there. I left the island. And again, bottom line, I had nothing to do with this. So that's what he says. Is that the truth? We just have so many unanswered questions here.
Has anything concrete come out of this investigation? I know we spoke with you last week as that press conference was held by the attorney that was hired here, Ben Crump, and the family.
Has anything concrete come out of this versus kind of like this hearsay?
I think it's like 99% hearsay. There is very little that is known, and things that you might think are fact are, there's things to suggest that maybe that's not true. There's been 2 autopsies done. Are those autopsies at odds with one another? It just seems like there is nothing that's concrete here, and it begs the question why. There were so many people on the island that day, kids, young adults having fun, and you would think that somebody must have seen something. For some reason, at this point, at least, we don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. Why did this 18-year-old guy, wind up dead 2 days later? It just doesn't seem to make much sense.
Moving to a different story, the woman who prosecutors say intentionally crashed her car to kill.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He said it just don't make no sense.
Her boyfriend and his friend, and was ultimately charged with murder, is now asking for a new trial.
Yeah, Mackenzie Shirilla, this is, the woman who, in this case, has become, really popular because Netflix made a show on it, and she is, asking for a new trial. Now, she has tried to sort of play out these appeals in other ways. In fact, the Ohio Supreme Court rejected hearing her case, and she's still trying to fight that battle. Now she's going a separate way to a federal court in Ohio, and
so there it is. So, gang. We laid it out on the table. We have seen that it's gonna be a lot of people telling, gang. This is a serious case, and it's gonna take a while. I think we did a very good live. We looked at the body language. We broke down the audio. We played it enough so it could resonate. We know it's clear. We know it's professional. We know people not gonna risk their brand. We point on. We had a lot of people in the chat today. That's point on. I tried to engage the best I could, but the comments was coming crazy. But I do thank y'all. Thank y'all for the jewels. Thank y'all for coming and staying in the live. I think Element 420. Now, see, I ain't call you that other thing. Had some slick to say. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna let you ride. I'm gonna let you ride. Thank y'all for coming, gang. Respect to you all. Be glad that you're above the ground instead of under it. I know it get hard out here, but remember, we're going through the same thing together, y'all, and it's called life. I'm C-Dub, Mr. I ain't said a word, but you know what I'm saying? And I said, damn. And we beat you. Band-Aid gang. And you all stay blessed, never. Careful on these dark roads. Share love because it's too much hate in the world. Thank y'all for joining, y'all. Make sure y'all hype up the video, sub up to the channel. Let's get the videos in the algorithms. Make sure you get your memberships. I also been covering the Mo3. I am from the Young Dog sector. If you don't know. So I love cases. I come from the Young Dog sector. I'm also covering the Mo3. I love cases. I love breaking stuff down, and I like to make people laugh. No shade. Thank you guys for joining tonight. Peace and love. And I'm out. Band-Aid gang. Thank you, Element 420. You was lit tonight, man. You was on point. Peace.